planted.
What's good, everybody? Welcome to SpikeTalk episode 21. We got some special guests today. I'm your host, Babybay. I'm here with Frost, of course, but we got Josh RT from G2, and we've got Alex from PRX. What up, Alex, bro? I'm just trolling. I'm just trolling, brother. How you guys doing?
Just chilling,
Good.
relaxing in off season.
Yeah, so this is what I was gonna ask actually first. Like, we have a bunch of topics we're gonna hit about, like the stuff going on, the rumors going on, and etc. But what's it like being a coach in the off season? And Frost, like, obviously you're a coach too, so you can feel free to chime in. But like, are you just like 1 week break straight into work, like finding new players, etc.? Like, what's the process like? You know, for those that don't know what it's like being a coach.
I chilled in Korea for 1 week, and then it was just back to work. And then that was it. Like, immediately, like, teams are already moving in champs, and the teams that like miss champs, they're already doing trials, and like you just have to get up to date with everybody. So just trying to get a sense of the surroundings real quick before I get into the off season.
What about you, Alex? How's it been in APAC?
Pretty much what Josh said. I had a week of break. It wasn't really even a break because I'm just trying to like unwind, and it's very difficult to do that. And after that, I'm just like trying to figure out who's going where, you know. Spending an entire time like catching up.
What about you, Frost? You came back to NA. You've been in what, Miami for a minute?
Yeah, I actually had a little vacation, so I'm chilling. So last year and this year were different. So last year, straight out of champs, it was obviously meetings, interviews, then you get signed. So then it was fly to Korea, trial for a whole month, come back, finalize the roster, go back to a Thai tournament, right? And then literally go to Asia, practice. This offseason, coming out of champs, it was the moment we left, or the moment we were out of the tournament, we stayed practicing, mainly for Primmie. So I stayed in Korea basically an extra month, even though we're out of champs. And then came back to America, decided on the roster. We're not really going to make any changes. We're going to probably run it back. Well, not probably. We are more than likely going to run it back. So then I was able to afford myself some time. We will be participating in a tournament in October in Japan, so it will be short-lived.
Ooh.
But this offseason has been so much different than the last one, given that we're going to have some consistency on the roster, and this isn't my first season with the team. But, yeah.
Nice. I'm just curious because obviously you guys all scrimmed when we were all at champs. What is it like playing scrim Talon, you know, versus the actual server? I gotta ask, but mainly I also just want to get your guys' opinion on like Josh and Alex about Primmie, because I've already heard a bunch of stuff about Primmie from Frost, but I just want to get your guys like outside in view, you know, and like what it's like scrimming against this guy, or even.
Bro, tell me how you really feel, bro.
Yeah.
I think he's great.
Best player I've ever seen, I think. Honestly.
Really? Is he actually like that crazy? Like he lives up to
Scrims,
the hype?
yeah. Like, holy shit, man. It's impossible to kill the guy. Like, everyone just rushes him and he just nails everyone. One taps everyone, like coming out of a corner. If you don't use utility to push him away, you're dead. You cannot turn the corner, he'll kill you.
Wow, dude, that's insane. So like if you were to compare him to another player, like, because like Osboss to me is like that guy. Like how would you rate him in terms of like Osboss level here, and then like I don't know, I guess me down here or something.
He's the same
You're
kind of,
not that bad,
same kind of, yeah. But he's same kind of impact.
He said, but you're not good. No, I'm playing. He's similar to Osboss, you think?
Same kind of impact, yeah.
Damn,
But he doesn't. But
that's
Aspas, like, you know, at the start around, he goes searching for someone to kill, you know, or he goes and locks a corner down. Like Primmie lets his team do that, and then after that he appears later in the round to kill you on attack, at least.
He's the boogeyman.
Yeah,
They call him Thanos.
He just appears.
And
He doesn't really take 1v1s early. He just later in the round, you know, he really comes and messes you up.
Alex, did you ever like think about trying to pick this guy up on your own team? Because like, I mean, it kind of just feels like if you had another guy that
I never
was an
talked to
aimer
him, by
like
the way.
that-
Just so you know. Never.
Yeah, we try it. I mean,
Oh, you tried to get him? You couldn't?
Never
What
talked to him
happened?
about this, by the way. This is random. No. I don't want Alex thinking I'm an asshole. Set him up.
We
I
tried.
had no idea.
We tried middle of the season. I mean, like after a while, I was just like, actually, this Primmie kid looks quite good. I watched all his YouTube videos. I was like, He's either the goat or he's hacking, one of the two. So I went to talk to him. He said he was interested, but he was already talking to Talon. I offered to fly down. I was like, look, let me fly down, let me meet your parents, let me see what's going on, then maybe we can talk to you about next season.
Wow.
Apparently, like, as soon as I said that, like, 2 days later, Cruz flew down. Went to speak to his parents first.
Wow, bro.
And then after like 1 day later, Primmie's like, oh, I'm going to Talon. I'm like, what happened, man? You were speaking to me for 3 days.
Oh my gosh, you got finessed by the Thai boys, bro. That's what happened.
Yeah,
bro.
I mean, he was gonna go Talon anyway. I think there was no chance. As soon as he was like, "Oh, okay, I'm ready to play tier 1," it's like Talon, please. His friends are all there, so
That's
Unlucky,
crazy,
bro.
dude. Unlucky, bro.
But scrim Talon, oh man, that's
Yeah, you
tough.
guys are something else, man.
It's unbelievable,
Tell me,
bro.
tell me,
Yeah, you
what
guys
is
are
it
something
like?
else.
What is it like scrimming against Talon, bro?
We got them on the 8 p.m. slot or 9 p.m. slot, so this is like our last scrim. And keep in mind, Korea, like we were playing super late, and I was like telling the boys, like, let's start playing late, get used to the time, you know. So unfortunately for us, we got you guys on our last scrim when our energy's low, and then you guys are just running us down on bind. You got Governor flying in, and then I think it was it Neon Yoru?
Yeah. Mhm.
Yeah. Governor taking all the space, we couldn't handle the Neon. Then suddenly he's in backside A, and then Primmie's just cleaning it up. So I mean, that's a really good system you guys have. Little 1-2 punch.
Yep.
Damn, bro, but it does not translate because this guy went 0-2 barbecue. Gotta say it again, bro.
Oh my
Gotta say it
God,
again.
bro.
But not only that, but like, yo,
It's so
Alex,
tough.
this year
up?
in the actual season, I remember we had a SpikeTalk episode. And he was telling me his game plan going up against you guys, how he wanted to fight fire with fire, and then you guys ended up 13-0ing him, bro. When you're in the coach slot, bro, like normally I don't see you happy and laughing, but like in that specific map, bro, I saw you smiling hard as
yeah,
fuck.
I mean,
Did
it's
you
because
see-
they were talking shit, man. The players, they're like, oh my god, what's going on? I mean, I don't know. They couldn't believe it themselves because I think Ilya was something was hitting some ridiculous stuff on Governor every outie. Like Governor came out, yeah, and just slapped him out of the air, and then he was just like, they're unlucky today. It was yeah. I mean, I didn't have to do anything. It was the first time ever. I just sat there. I'm like, oh.
He says the
And
first time ever.
yeah, they just
bro.
changed the comm recently. So Jason was trying to say, he was like telling me, see, it works. I was like, okay.
Actually, yeah, in fairness, it was genius because the sad thing was we had just started preparing against anti-breach. So we didn't really know that Lotus breach was coming, but we started preparing because we were transitioning to a neon cipher on Sunset, and people were running KO because they were copying like, you know, EU Sunset. But there was, I forget the Japanese team, sorry, I'm just forgetting, but there was a team that like 16-8, they beat the shit out of us with breach. So then I went back, and that same week that we were playing them, we basically like had to go over like, hey guys, Haven's gonna come at some point. You're gonna need to get a handle on breach. You need to play breach like that, you know, blah blah blah. These motherfuckers randomly pull out Lotus breach. We were not expecting it, but we kind of knew how to prepare for it because we were already so we had like everything going for us to like stop it and counter us. I was like, oh, this is perfect. The problem was the game plan we had was too aggressive for a breach. And then another thing was, which I don't mind saying it now because it doesn't really matter. Forsaken, we knew would be in the middle of the map because we kind of know how breach is going to play, and we kind of know what is going to happen, right? You want breach in the middle of the map so he can stun both lines, you know, blah, 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 right? But Forsaken wasn't solo. He always had someone with him. We had the problem where we had Ban challenging front B solo. So Forsaken was always basically traded. And then I call a timeout to kind of like fix that. So Ban has somebody with him, but then it makes the other side weak. And like these little problems, like you put a Band-Aid on something to fix one thing you see, like, okay, now you need to match the +1. We're fine. If we kill the breach, they lose all the tempo because they no longer have hit potential. Then you just either have to gamble and get lucky, or you basically have to just play retake and be strong in your retakes, and they can't do shit. But then the other side gets fucked up because now you lose the manpower. Oh, bro. It felt like quicksand.
13-0.
It felt like everything we did, we tried to stay ahead of what was coming, and it just made it worse. And I had never seen Governor so kind of frustrated. I mean, on the like the Talon video and stuff, he's like laughing about it, joking and stuff. That's true, but like some of his deaths, you can see him on the death
quite
cam
sad.
afterwards. Like, what the fuck is this, bro? I felt so bad for Peter because he
Unlucky.
literally couldn't even play the game.
Unlucky. All right, my next question is because all three of you guys made roster changes like in the middle of the season at some point. I think Josh, you did the earliest one, I believe. So you had a lot more time than the others. But what's it like having to make a roster change in the middle of a season like that, considering like the way that the format is, and it could be so like goddamn punishing for all teams. Like it's kind of a gamble no matter how you look at it, right? So what's it like from each of your guys' perspectives, starting with Josh, like how it was switching a player out in the middle of matches?
I'm sure I can speak for all of us, but like it was super stressful. I mean, it's a huge risk, but it's one of those risks that like I felt like I had to take. And it's more so like what I thought were intangibles that we needed for this team for it to work in tier 1, and there was enough of a runway. If I do it earlier in the season and make this change, I can get it up and running by champs. So like that was the rationale. And it was like it's a really ballsy move on my part just to do it. I felt like it was like necessary. I need a duelist that'll no questions asked, like just entry in and just be part of this like system that we developed. I wanted a reliable anchor and an extremity player in my sentinel. So a role swap and a new player, and it kind of just fit.
Nice. That are you like happy with the progress that Icy had throughout the season? Like, did he go in your eyes? Did he go above and beyond for you guys, or did you just get what you expected to get out of him?
You know, like when you watch a player in trials and like in scrims, you see their best. So I kind of saw like what his potential was. It was just up to me to realize it and like let it like be shown in matches, right? So like when he first joined, keep in mind he moved from Texas to LA and within 2 weeks had to immediately start playing a match, right?
Yeah.
And like not many players can do that. I asked a lot for him to perform and just like be ready. And predictably, he didn't have the best start. But you know, we were patient enough and just gave him the notes, and eventually he got the experience and he got comfortable on stage. And next thing you know, like he had that. I would say his best performances were like starting from Shanghai, I think, and then from there it's just like the rest is history.
He really, from my point of view, came alive on like Bind specifically of all maps. Like you could really see like, okay, this is why he's on your guys' team. He's actually double satcheling, back truck, getting 3Ks, going into heaven sometimes randomly on his own timing. And like I scrimmed against him for a while when he was on that EG roster or whatever, like when FaZe was still around. And I know he's mechanically talented, and I was just happy to see it when he actually started doing that shit in Shanghai and stuff like that. So yeah, that was dope. And I think he actually had a great rookie season considering that he came from like tier 3 basically. I mean, he tier 2 probably, but like
Tier 3.
Tier 3,
right?
It was tier 3 to straight to tier 1.
That's nutty,
Yeah.
man.
Yeah.
That's such a tough ask.
Very impressive.
Now, for you, Alex, you had monyet. What was it like having monyet in your team, and then also having Jingg like decide to just come back out of nowhere? Well, first of all, I want to get it from the beginning. Like you're gonna lose Jingg. Like, dude, I'm not gonna lie, I cried like when at Champs, bro, and like that video came out, and he's like, "This might be my last match, bro." I think everyone
was sad.
I lost it, bro. What was that emotional roller coaster like, and then to finally get him back this year?
I mean, I think we knew like coming towards Champs. I made a mistake. I shouldn't have told the world, to be honest. Like, I said it in a Japanese interview offhand, and then they took it and they ran with it. That I think I said like he probably won't play next season because he might go to the army. And then the Japanese interviewer like caught on to it, and then they went to Riot, and Riot said, "Okay, we want to build a whole story out of this." Yeah, so after that, it became like a whole storyline kind of thing. Yeah, I mean, my feelings at the time, I already knew like at the start of last year that probably he might not be able to play for 2 years. So we just like, okay, we'll just try our best, and I try to sign like something so that, you know, if you need a new duelist, it's ready. Yeah, so the roster change thing, I did it the season before as well, but this season was a lot harder because it's so much more compact, you know. Last season, you know, if you qualify for champions, I mean, it was different, right? Like you have one event to qualify for and you qualify for both. So after you made it Tokyo, you could relax and slowly like try your best to integrate. You know, I had different problems last season, like not getting a visa is also something that I didn't anticipate.
Oh god.
This season, it was great. You know, like Ting came back. He's like, feels like the family's back together again. But I'm super sad for Monyet because he's a very nice kid, you know. And my worry is like when you do these kind of things to some players, sometimes I feel like I'm messing up their chances in franchise because it's like it's so competitive, you know. And he had the option to go to like 5 different teams, and he chose to come to Paper X. And after that, like Ting comes back, and you don't know what to do. Like, okay, if I keep you a 6-man, he didn't really mind, you know. I mean, it's like stay a 6-man, or he can go to another team, and I have to tell the guy like, look, like something insane just happened. This guy is coming back from the army. That he shouldn't. He finds that he has like some. The chance to come back, and then I have to make a decision, and all the players are super happy to have him back, you know, and I'm sitting there thinking, oh, fuck, man.
You have to. What can he do, bro?
Yeah, so in that position, I'm just like, yeah, okay, fine, we'll just make the swap, try and get Chaya a new home. But good news was we made it to Masters Madrid, right, third, so he could show that he could play and he could hang. So RQ came in, asked whether he wanted to play, and we're like, okay, please just go and make sure you make the best of it, you know, like. And RQ was one of the teams I wanted him initially, so I mean, it worked out for everyone, luckily, you know. But I imagine that like it could really like another player would be sitting there just playing with his thumbs, like nothing to do.
Yeah, that would have been tough for him.
I was surprised he didn't go to RRQ initially because those are his former teammates and stuff. I'll be honest with you, bro. I honestly did not expect anyone to try to fill jingg. In my opinion, it was insane for any player to want after champs. It was insane for any player to want to fill those shoes. That was actually insane.
Yeah, I mean, like in a player standpoint, it's like big ass shoes.
Too much pressure. Yeah, for sure, bro. That shit was crazy.
I think he did a pretty decent job, actually.
Well, yeah, it's not that he didn't do a good job. It's just it's certainly not something I would ever advise anybody to do. But you said something about you think you made a mistake. Actually, though, to be honest, what you did was so good for jingg because that ride storyline, it propelled him. Like, you know, I think he might have been a household name anyway by the time you guys made the finals, but he became a household name the moment that narrative started. So, like, what you did for his long-term career was actually quite good.
Insane.
It just, the short-term might have been a little bit weird, but you actually did help him. Like, that actually helped him a lot because now he's at a totally different stratosphere. I mean, he's obviously one of the most popular players in the world. So, calculated, basically, is what you should say.
He's a star, bro. Did he feel any like extra pressure when he found out that the piece was coming out about him and stuff like that? Do you think it actually changed like the way that he played in that final, or did it not affect him at all?
No, I mean it wasn't just him. Like even if that piece didn't come out, we internally would have known that like this might be it, you know. So we would have felt the pressure regardless. But yeah, sure. If the whole world's eyeballs are on you, then suddenly that's even more pressure. You're like okay. Like I guess it's easier to push it aside if you were like it was just us, you know. And we just wanted to push it aside, and we could do it. But if the whole was like saying you gotta win, like okay, we're gonna try our best. After that, it gets really hard, you know. But it wasn't as though it wasn't there for the whole tournament. You know? I mean, like EG played like insanely well that final, so like I don't think we would have won anyway.
Shoot, I thought you guys were gonna have it in the bag, dude. I was like, oh, finally a team that runs it down is gonna take this home, bro. It's everything I've ever wished for.
you know, funny story, right? We purposely came to Valorant a bit later than other teams because I told them we were in CS and they said let's go to Valorant. I said go to Valorant a little bit later because all the teams that are going to be good right at the start of Valorant, they're going to have a certain way of playing. People are going to adapt really fast and they're going to change. So we went to Valorant maybe 2021, 2020, I can't remember. First team I watched is this player from FaZe who happens to be running it down with an agent that looks as though it's broken. I'm asking everyone, why isn't everyone doing this shit?
Yeah, for real, bro.
Why isn't everyone just Goomba stomping people with the updraft and dashing and running away? Like, you took so much space. You held so many angles, and then you ran away. I'm like, okay, we're going to do that. We're going to do that with every duelist. Our first plan was 3 duelists. And then we just ran with it, and it started to work, you know. So, yeah, actually, you're the inspiration for it.
Nice, bro. That's awesome to hear.
We always knew it.
That's awesome to hear.
We always knew it, because I basically said,
I was so go
Yeah.
ahead. I was
No, no,
pissed when my teammates, bro. We played one of the finals against Sen, and Sen was running like a Phoenix comp on like a Scent. We lose to them like one time ever, bro. All of a sudden, everybody wants to change the entire comp. I'm like, dude, what are you guys talking about? We're gonna be ass. We don't play the game normal. We're gonna be so shit, and that's what happened. So like, every team that I talk to, I'm like, bro, stick with your style. It's okay to make changes to it, but like, just make it better. You know, like do things that make it better. Don't completely go away from what you succeed with, right? For G2, it's like you guys' macro game is out of the fucking charts, bro. It's unbelievable. Like you stick with that, look at how far it got you guys, you know? Like now you start adding some X factor, you know, like X factors in, you know? You might go nuclear, you know?
I think
PRX,
team identity is like so important. I mean, like you just got to get all 5 players and the coach to just get into that team identity and just keep adding wrinkles, little gambits into your game playbook, and you just explore that fully, and you'll get really far in a tournament, in my opinion. So, like you made it so that PaperX can run, you know?
Yeah,
like you
exactly.
want so PaperX can run.
That was pretty much my quote to him. But what's funny about that whole thing is people like me didn't see it because I was very critical. I mean, I don't know if you want to tell them
this guy
about me blacklisting you.
bro.
Yeah. Just tell them.
Don't worry, you're not the only team, bro.
Yeah.
We got blacklisted too.
Yeah.
Like, teams don't have players.
Because you just don't think it can work because it shouldn't work. But that's kind of the problem, is it doesn't work because it shouldn't work. You're not prepared for it. Because I think that's the one thing that Valorant has taught me that has been so different from like Dota, Rocket League, CS, and it's basically like in Valorant, you have to fear the unknown. In none of those other games, you don't ever have to fear the unknown. Someone picks a random pick in Dota, you don't really worry about it because like you have either items or your comp is so good or your style is so good, you'll just make a small adjustment and you should be able to figure it out. But Valorant's like weird like that, where like one like thing you don't expect, you can lose like 6 rounds in a row. You're like, how do I stop this, bro? And then by the time you stop the bleeding, the match is over, and you're just like, oops.
Yeah.
Especially with like that squad that we had with the Overwatch players, like we were really good at winning pistol because of our mechanical skill, winning the anti-eco, and all of a sudden we got like 2 ults online somehow. Or like for some reason I would always get knives because I think Jet was so broken back then. If you guys remember, bro, it was what, like 6 orbs maybe at some point.
I think 7, but it's still short. Yeah.
But if you popped off, which like the whole strat was for me to get like 2-3 kills on pistol and then me get kills on anti-eco. I have knives for the gun round and I can right click 5 people in a row.
Dude,
bro,
crazy.
You remember that? Like I could literally shotgun anybody. I would just run it down. If you make one mistake, if your Sova shot a dart, I'm instantly dashing if I know I'm close enough. And he can't pull his gun out in time. You're dead already. I just shotgunned you in the head. It was so broken, bro. But I think Frost, he blacklisted us specifically for this one moment. And I want to get your guys' reaction to this because you'll probably never see this ever in your scrims. But I was playing Jet and using the Odin, like literally on attack side, like on every map at some point. Because to me, I was just like, yo, this Odin is so fucking broken. And I still think it's fucking broken. I mean, look at like people still on Ascent. Like if you have a good Sova player on Ascent, that knows how to spam with the Odin, it's like GG, it feels like. But I would updraft and on the way down, just hold mouse 1 and I would kill his team, bro. And they would like rage quit the scrims. So he literally blacklisted me for this. And then he saw me do it in a match and he's like, no fucking way, bro. No fucking way.
That's hard to do.
It's the helicopter strat.
Yep.
Hiko was the one that was so tilted. He's like, Hector, can we leave? I said, yeah, fuck these guys, bro. Fuck them. We're going to blacklist them. We don't give a fuck. And then when I saw him doing it in a tournament, I basically hit them up, him and Infamous, and basically was like, I apologize. I'm an asshole. My bad. I just didn't know. I didn't know this was possible, but you guys are that fucking crazy. Whoops. So,
dude, sometimes like that's the thing about Valorant is that there's so many different ways that you can play it, but it is like tying back to what we were talking about. You just gotta play to your strengths on your team, your identity, and anybody can win. Look at EDG, bro. Like, I don't think anybody saw it. I definitely didn't see EDG winning this whole tournament. But they came in, played their own fucking way, and it wasn't Kang go up. You know what I mean? That's what me and Frost were talking about in the last episode with Ye. It wasn't him just like getting an op up and like having this crazy like op performance. Like he was getting entries, he was hyped the whole fucking time. It's crazy, bro. Like they play their own unique style and they took it all the way. Same with that EG squad, or if it wouldn't have been EG, it would have been you guys with PRX.
Yeah.
Like that EG squad played such a unique style. Like
Double lurks.
yeah, Lev tried to replicate it, but it just didn't work. It just didn't hit the same, bro. Sometimes with
Yeah.
those five players that you have on the team, you gotta run whatever best for you. You know, so that's
I didn't
yeah.
think EDG would make it out of groups. I thought
Dude.
PRX would own them like they always do.
I didn't think that either until they beat us.
Right. So-
I knew when we played them, they got so much better because we were serving them in Shanghai and they were definitely the weakest 1 seed. We're like, please have them pick us or something, you know, like, and like there was a huge improvement from when I saw them in Shanghai,
massive.
and then like we obviously didn't scrim them in Seoul, and then we played them like, wait, these guys like up their game in so many different aspects. The Simon guy, great utility, support, and then like their game plans start to make sense. Like actually a very underrated key to their success is their game planning. Like I knew immediately like what they were targeting onto us because like, you know, obviously I know my own weaknesses and like, oh, these guys are actually exploiting it. Damn. But yeah, I saw that like propagate throughout the whole tournament, and like in my brief stint in the analyst desk, I was still analyzing all the teams, like what their win cons were, and they were able to like keep update on everybody's like win cons and like just start exploiting that. So it was kind of cool to see.
Yeah, I think Hao Dong, right, was the one that got replaced, I think. Right, Alex?
Yeah.
I think they had what we had with Primmie and Simon that I didn't see coming. Because he was like, in my opinion, their second best player. If not their first in most cases. That normally doesn't happen. You don't just normally make a replacement and that person that comes in is your best player. So I don't know if it was a miracle. I don't know if we're going to see it. I mean, I think next year is going to be like a real gut check to know if they hit lightning in a bottle. Because to me, it was... All right, this might be controversial, but to me, what happened to EDG, because I did an interview for, I think it was like, I don't remember with who, but it was like some document, One Esports.
On esports.
And I was kind of like predicting like, hey, I'm kind of curious to see if like they're in perfect form or if this is the China that like is going to take over, right? And what I really meant by that is you could say that they hit a honeymoon period or they hit lightning in a bottle because you don't normally make a roster change and the person that makes or the new player has that much impact. Normally, how normal humans work, there's an acclimation period, right? You have to like get used to your teammates, get used to the chemistry. You don't just go and just like take over games. But I feel like that's what happened with EDG, and the whole time I'm just here like, what the fuck is this? Like, so.
I think it happens more often than you think, though. Like even in CS:GO, like I think stand-ins have won tournaments. Like recently, it was last year. I think JKS won with E2 and stuff.
Yeah, and then you had Stewie and stuff,
and FaZe.
Yeah, Stewie, and then there's us that go.
Yeah.
We went to the.
But you normally have a
go.
strong four core. EDG was not strong.
They looked
that's
like
what I'm saying.
noobs in Shanghai, bro.
They were butt cheeks.
Oh
but
my god!
what I was saying was, what they reminded me of was Cloud9 when they won the Boston Major. Like it was like right time, right place, right attitude,
Everyone popping off.
and then and that's I'm so excited to see what's going to happen next year to see if this team can like, you know, are they legit or was that a moment of time like EG last year?
Cinderella story run.
Yeah.
There's a view to look at tournaments where like sometimes the strength of schedule is not that great and they just capitalize on the moment like where other teams are weak, and there's tournaments where like everybody's legitimately strong and that's like, wow, that is the best team. And so it's really hard to like knowing the background information about like all the teams there, like I kind of know the like where they were at and like, oh, are they going to be are they even a team that's alive, for example? You know, so like I kind of like am privy to that information. So like, did it capitalize on that moment where everybody's kind of weak, or they're actually strong? Probably a mixture of both, to be honest. But yeah,
I don't know off memory, but I'll say I think their only 2-0 was Trace, right? Like everything was like not a struggle.
Foot as well, I think.
Grinded through it.
Foot. Okay,
It was
maybe.
the first game.
Okay, sorry. But it felt like every game was like a real game. It wasn't like, oh, we're just gonna, shit on everybody.
I'm sure they lost the first map every game.
Yeah. Yo, do you guys agree? I felt like this was the most parity in any tournament in Valorant I have ever seen.
Yeah.
I felt like
I thought
any team could have won this event.
Yeah.
Which I never thought about ever before. I never thought like that was possible.
obviously
I
I'm
agree.
biased, but I thought anybody in the top 8 could have won.
Yeah. Dude, I thought I could have won.
Yeah.
That's insane.
I had you in my pickles, man. You failed me, bro.
Bro.
You failed me.
Bro, I actually had to come to Jesus moment.
As well.
Bro, I had to come to Jesus moment because I legitimately, after that event, I started to lose confidence in myself. I was telling Babybay this, and I kind of talked about it on SpikeTalk. Like, I've come out of that, but there was a week where I legitimately was like, I think I should just hang it up because I don't think I've ever been so wrong in my life. Bro, I legit went through like a depression because I'd like to think that I'm pretty smart, and I feel like most of my career I've never been like if I've been off, you can calculate why you were off or whatever, but for the most part, I feel like I've been Johnny on the spot. That's the only reason I've had as long a career as I've had in as many games as I've had. So I normally, when I put all my chips in the table, I feel like I have a good chance. Boy, not only did I put all my chips on the table, I fucking took a loan. I fucking went in with more. I'm talking bro, the night before Lev, I told this to Babybay. I was talking to like people close to me. Like, bro, we're gonna fucking win this event. You watch.
Yeah, he was.
I'm literally like, bro, we're gonna win this event. These teams are ass. There's no way. And it just afterwards,
scrimmer,
we
bro.
go 0-2. Bro, don't eat. I know. Bro, we go 0-2. I legit was like having a moment where I'm just like, I'm actually washed now. Everything everyone says about me is absolutely true. I'm washed. There's just no way I could be this wrong. It's impossible. EDG winning, I literally sat there like, that could have been us. Yeah, I was like,
yeah,
bro, I was going through it. I have now come back to earth.
Okay.
But no, I'm still ass. Trust me. I'm not saying I'm not, but at least I'm not gonna just quit or like just retire just because I'm an idiot. I know I'm just a fucking idiot that I actually thought I could win, and I went into
I don't think that's too far off though. Like, you had a close game. Well, you definitely should have at least won some maps at this event. I'll say that for sure. Like that Leviathan Vine game, bro. That was
going by scrim results. You should have won everything.
Well, scrim results.
Bro, we had an advantage
in.
in every game. Bro, the game we lost against Vitality, where we lost 10-2 on defense side.
Oh,
we had 9 rounds of advantage, 5v4 or better, and won 2 rounds.
Yeah, back to back. They had like 4 rounds in a row. I remember I was on the desk
5v3s. We lost 3 5v3s in a row.
Back to back, bro.
It's unconscionable what happened. But the point is, that's why I say I'm ass. And we don't need to belabor this point anymore, but just coming out of these losses, I legit was just like, what the fuck am I doing with my life? Like, there's no way I'm this ass and that I'm this off. Like, someone else has to take over now because I'm losing it. Bro, I was having a conversation with my GM like, yo, you still want me next year, bro? Because I'm done. I'm cooked. So, but that's how this tournament felt. It felt like anyone can win, and I was just as shocked as anyone else that like EDG like took it. And when they took it, I felt like it was the best thing for Valorant, and it also, as a competitor, is the best thing for us to know that like we're really not that far away. Like, if you were in that tournament and you played well, I'm not saying we played well, but you should feel as if, like Josh's point, you're top 8. I'm gonna, remove myself from that stupidity that I just barked that I thought I could win this.
It's kind of crazy that the only team in Champs that beat EDG was G2 though. Like, yeah, I guess it's not actually crazy because like I know you guys how you guys win your games, and it makes sense. But like that's the run that EDG went on. Like the only team they lost to was G2, and they took out.
Yeah, and they beat a team that they shouldn't have beat, or not.
They beat the
Sorry.
finals.
They
Yeah, I don't wanna
take
say
you guys
shouldn't have
out
beaten.
finally, right?
That's what I was gonna say. Like
it's
they,
just crazy.
they beat a team they never beat before. I think though, I will say this: I blame Alex for everything
should've.
because
Should have taken them down.
imagine the
Scumbag,
confidence.
Alex, bro,
Bro,
it's all your fault. Bro.
Imagine the confidence you get when you slay the fucking dragon.
I know.
Right? You slay a dragon, and you're like, oh,
That's what I was
Aspas?
thinking as well.
Fuck out of here. Oh, Josh RT? Fuck out of here. Who else? Like,
I actually can't believe we lost it. Like we played, they let us pick Sunset. I was like, this is it, man. And then boom, we lost.
yeah,
I haven't
I'll
lost
be honest
Sunset
with you.
for like
I was surprised.
98% win rate or some shit.
Well, the thing I was most surprised about was Lotus, because I was like, wait, you guys lost on Lotus to that team? Because I'm not really sure they ever beat us on the Lotus. I mean, yeah, it's just scrims, obviously, but your Lotus is
No, but their
I don't even think your Lotus
surprisingly
was
hard to play
strong.
against, man.
your players just can steal rounds on
the
Lotus.
double
So I felt like
controller.
that was an impossible map to win.
We stole nothing, man. We had 4 rounds or something.
That's what I'm saying. Like, but going into that, I was like, oh, they're cooked. They got to play Lotus. They're just gonna get fucking hit with the pincer. There's just nothing they're gonna be able to do. Something is just gonna shit on them. It's tough luck. And I was obviously wrong, but
Me
I
too.
blame you though. I blame you. When
So-
China takes over Valorant, it will
It's
go
my
down
fault.
as your fault.
So,
I just want everybody to
They
know
like,
it's
they
you.
like me, so I'm okay.
Yeah,
Literally, so-
yeah, they
so-
like you, but the rest of the world's gonna hate you for this.
Frost has this thing with Governor where like anytime Termi and DRX win a game, he'll be like, "Yo, Gov, you see that? That's all you, bro. Like you getting your money for it."
Oh, facts.
So now
facts.
that's now you, Alex, with
the whole
EDG,
world.
bro.
Yeah. Our new Chinese overlord here, presented by Alex.
I'll have to do something about
Alex.
it. I'll give him the trophy next time.
Yeah.
Oh shit, bro. All right. Anyways, so we talked a lot about like your questions about coaching stuff, but I just want to get your guys' opinion on like the crazy shuffles that are going around in the scene. You know, specifically, there's a lot of stuff going on in EMEA and NA. I don't know too much about the insides of APAC, so I'm sure you guys got more knowledge about that. Like obviously that can be leaked. We don't want to leak anything that's not out yet to the public. But what do you guys think specifically about Loud and saadhak parting ways and that whole change coming through? It's kind of crazy to me. I feel like that's nuts because when I think of Loud, I think of saadhak.
Oh,
Yeah. I mean, you're losing one of the best IGLs in the scene, but they probably have a good reason. I think this season was a little weird from an outside POV with like the comp decisions to
Totally.
Yeah, the comp decisions were kind of weird in the beginning, but that experiment like ran its course and failed. But then like it feels like it's one of those teams where like I think he runs the team, and so when they didn't make it to champs, it's kind of on him in a way. So
Yeah.
and I'm sure he's going to take responsibility for that, and I'm sure he's going to find a really good team after. And I can already see some of the pieces moving. Like there's a chance that they can make a LATAM team that's like even stronger, So yeah, it'll be sad to see them go, but I will look forward to Loud trying to bring in like new Brazilian talent and just see like what they can make.
What do you think about the just to extend on that? What do you think about the new Brazilian talent that we're like seeing in Ascension right now? Because I know like we've like at least me and Frost have been watching it. I don't know if you've been paying attention.
Yeah, I've been watching.
Like Sado and the other main duelist. What's his name?
Just like Spike.
Spike. Yeah.
Yeah. Like
2G
all
is
these.
so good.
Yeah, 2G looks good.
That team
Galleries
is good.
had
They're winning
like
right now, I think.
they're playing right now. Yeah, I mean, the Brazilian duelist talent is insane. That's for sure.
It's always been
I'm-
since Heat, for
Yeah.
sure. But that's
I'm
all they
not-
got, in my opinion.
Yeah, exactly. I'm not too sure about like the depth and like the rest of the roles. So like, is there an IGL talent that can fill the role of
No.
saadhak? Probably not. And
Nope.
something I want
And he's not even Brazilian. People think he's Brazilian.
No,
he's Argentinian.
He's
Yeah.
Argentinian.
They had to import. They had to import
Yeah.
some IGL ship.
Yeah. He's
Sassi was probably the closest, I think,
fair.
into
Yeah.
homegrown like IGL talent there, but he's on a different team.
And he wasn't even
Yeah,
a
I
true IGL. So
Yeah, I mean, so like I don't know where they're gonna do what they're gonna do with that part, and I think that's a glaring hole in Brazil's talent or their market. So like whether they can train somebody up, maybe the coaches on Loud can train a new IGL, or maybe Les can take up the mantle. I have no clue. It's gonna be kind of tough for them to rebuild, I think, but there's some talent for sure.
I think franchising destroyed Brazil. I mean, I could go deep into this because all of what you want to ask is flip side problems. Because let's start with the first. Brazil doesn't have good developmental programs, first off, because the IGLs, there's non-existent. The coaches are, I'm not even going to go there, right? So you got this issue. You got the next issue, which is why franchising ruined it. In North America, you can make more money. The reais, when I was at Furia, the reais to the dollar was, I believe, 5-1. Right? Now think about it. That's why it was impossible to keep Loud or for Loud to keep their team after they won a championship because they were promised more money. They were, they didn't. The mistake they made was not doing it early, right? That's always it. You're like, nope, I got a contract, blah, 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 blah. You piss off a player. He's like, all right, bitch, fuck you. And then what happens, right? Then he's like, all right, I'm just going to do whatever. I'm not going to care anymore. I'm just going to wait till my contract's up. Then I'm going to go to this team, that team, and that team. Then you start this division and problem. Then it gets to a point where, what do you have to do? You have to either trade a player. You have to accept the buyout from another team because you realize the relationship is untenable. And now you have two of those players going to an American team making 5 times their salary, right? Because I believe everybody was on 5K, right? No,
I heard this. No, I heard this.
But this is literally what happens, right?
No, I heard about this.
So then, I'm over here, on Furia, I could have gotten some of those players because their agent was hitting us up. I'm like, oh, I'm about to get this person from this team, and I'm about to throw them on this roster. Oh, let's go. And then it didn't happen because obviously a bigger deal was on the table. Yeah. But now you see this is a real thing where now it's well, okay, if every Brazilian player that does well, if he's going to always ask for NA money, now you have Brazilian teams that economically can't match the 5-1, right? Because they're at an economic disadvantage off the get. Then when I'm GMing at Furia, I'm getting all the smoke from everyone at Furia about how expensive LA is as if it's my fault. It's actually insane, and I don't even want to get into it. But part of the reason I'm not at Furia is because of all the arguments I'm getting into because, bro, don't even get me started on that org. But it's my fault because I'm an American and not Brazilian that all of a sudden the expenditures are as high, right? There's 1 month we paid $11,000 on food, and it was I smacked a baby or something. It was so bad. I'm like, what you mean? These guys, it's 8 men. What are you talking about? It's just how it is. And LA is crazy expensive. And you know better than anybody, Andre. Trying to feed 8 men every day, 3 meals a day is insanity, right? So
it's a lot.
So they're complaining about infrastructure, housing, right? Then they got to worry about salaries and, I'm not going to mention the name of the teams, but the North American teams and the expenditures that they have, and the revenue that they have as opposed to the Brazilian orgs, because Brazilian sponsors pay X, which is far less than their Western counterparts. Now you're getting into an economic conversation about, well, now we need to re-sign these players. How the hell are we going to do that? Then you have to arbitrarily decide who you're going to be loyal to. So now you're creating even more fractures because you have to choose which players you believe in the most and who are your franchise guys. And you saw that problem this year with Furia when MW0 has control of the whole roster. And it's wait, what are we doing here? And it's yeah, because he doesn't know. But he doesn't know that he doesn't know because he thinks he knows. But now he's getting all the money and he has all the power because everybody already said he was the greatest guy. Meanwhile, the last team that they had, all those players that got removed, they're gone, right? Sure, Mazin went to MIBR, and then you had Quick for a small time on Loud. And they wanted to get rid of Khalil, so I'm not going to be oh, they kept Khalil. No, he kind of was only there because of circumstance. But you see how that one decision cascades into everything I'm talking about, and all of a sudden, now you have another lost year. And now you have all these teams now going, this is a failed project. Riot is doing what they're doing. Everybody knows they decreased the funding you got from the partnership program.
Being in the league, yeah.
Then they did it again by taking, I believe, 30% of it for having your pistol in the game. So the stipend is getting cut. Now they have all these problems. And now Loud is going through what all the other teams are going through. And it's like, oh, well, that sucks for Loud. It's like, does it? Like, this is sort of the game that's played, and this is sort of what the economics are. I think this is why I've always been a proponent for the salary cap, and I know Riot tried, and I won't get into specifics. We can talk about that on another show, Andre. But like the salary cap was needed because you had certain GMs in this game that were just insane and created this like, you
If
know,
there was a salary cap though, G2 wouldn't be getting, multi-millionaire contracts, right?
look, I'm not going to get into it,
Stop the
but
cap, bro.
I will just say congratulations
bro,
to everyone on G2 for actually having the chips fall where they fell, because
Bro, they earned
obviously
it, bro. They should
Yeah.
have earned it.
fair. I will also make a counter argument, Josh, which you may not like, but we are boys and all your players. This is not me pocket watching. This is me just saying, but all these other teams are tier 1 teams not making anywhere close to the money you're making. But why? It's because opportunity met circumstance. And because people had a bidding war for the spot, absolutely, everybody has to collect a bag, for sure. But if we had a salary cap, we don't have the problems that Loud, and it's not just Loud. So I am, obviously, Latin American. LATAM teams have it worse because
Yeah.
they have less money, less popularity, right? Like, at least Brazil is a mecca in esports that every company has to get the fingerprint on. So it's easier to get sponsorships. Try get a fucking sponsorship if you're like in Honduras, Mexico, Chile, Argentina. Yeah, good fucking luck with that, Chief. Like, so
I actually heard there's some APAC teams as well that are making like, because I think the minimum in APAC, isn't it lower than what it is in
Yes.
NA?
Yes.
3.8K USD.
So like it's even, well, you could argue it's even worse. In
no, it
APAC,
is
right?
worse because
It is
NA goes by LA law. So LA law mandates that I
minimum
think
wage.
everyone gets some like 60K minimum, basically,
I see.
because that is minimum wage in LA because the taxation is so high, which is another conversation for another day. But in APAC, that shit don't exist. So you be getting players on like, 1/5 of the contracts that we're even discussing. Well, that's not true. Like 1/3 of the contracts that we're discussing. Right? So
But what
it's-
about cost of living and just where you at?
well, we're in Seoul, which is expensive relative to like, let's say,
Not LA expensive.
wink, wink,
Yeah.
Thailand. No, for sure. But you got to think about it. These people in APAC, they can't even conceive any idea of what it costs to live in LA, because the cost of living where they're from is nowhere near what it like. They can't even think about
I know, bro.
what we are talking about. Your
insane.
apartment is like
man. My old apartment.
3
my old
months
apartment.
salary. Your old
Yeah.
apartment is like 3 months salary for most people in Asia, maybe even more.
Crazy.
Right. So I feel bad for Loud. Obviously I'm not going to feel bad for Saadhak because he's choosing where he's going to go and what he's
Yeah.
going to do, and he's a grown
He'll
man
be
and he
fine.
can do whatever.
Yeah.
Right, of course. I empathize given what I went through on the flip side and sort of like what's going on now. But I definitely think that there's a sustainability problem that nobody wants to talk about. Everybody, especially players. This is the thing that I haven't liked about players now. Players only really care about money. Situations don't matter to them. That's why we can go back to the Demon One conversation that we were having off air. And it's like, situations matter, guys. But they don't value that. They think like, yo, I'll take the quick 1 year and subsidized cash now, and then I'll figure it out later. But you don't know what you're missing by taking that chance or that opportunity. Sometimes you have to like acknowledge that you're in a special situation, you're in a good situation, and you have to bet on yourself. It's kind of hard to do that. And I don't know what the middle balance is, but I think a salary cap is like at least protection from both sides. Players could be protected because with a salary cap comes guaranteed money and conditions, right? That you don't have now, right? Because if Josh doesn't like you, he can just cut you. If I don't like you, I can just cut you. Sorry, man, you're cut, right? Like, it's just like that. That shit just happens. But with a salary cap, that's impossible. You have to pay the money out because that's the terms of agreement. If you look at any major sports franchise.
Yeah.
So I don't know what Loud is going to do. You brought up the tier 2 talent, but here's the problem. They can't sign a lot of the tier 2 talent because if the tier 2 talent makes it to the league, they're fucked. So what are they going to do? They're going to have to sign tier 2 talent from the team that didn't win. So this is why, academy teams should have always been important. This is why developmental programs are always important. And the teams that can't do that, I don't think will have success in the long term until they do the let me raise money so I can sign the best available free agent thing, which, is proving to be insane at the moment.
I think that's a losing game if you're a GM. If you always go for the latest and greatest from last year, because there's no guarantee that this guy will have the same amount of production, if not more. And I think as a GM, well, I'm not a GM, but like if you are a GM, like you should be projecting and trying to see what's going on. But that's not to mention like the changing metas, the different agent pools that will like be required. You got Vice coming in, so like your Sentinel player needs to learn Vice, maybe, or the Flex player. Don't know yet, right? So it's just going to be harder and harder each year. And I think a lot of problems in the market is just like a lot of overpay and bidding, like bidding wars. So North America kind of makes that mistake a lot, I would say. It's really hard to be sustainable. And this is also a problem of like a global league. There's a reason why salary caps and all that work in like the NFL and the NBA, right? And even then they have problems with like major market cities versus like, really small market teams. Same thing with countries. And this is just going to be really tough it's just an impossible problem to solve, honestly. I don't know if that's the way to go about it.
In fairness, I don't think it's impossible. I think it's impossible if you have nothing but MBAs and people that have never played a sport or know anything about anything other than. I'm just going to keep my mouth shut on that one. But I'll just say it's not impossible. It's an impossible problem for some people that don't know left from right. That's when it becomes impossible. But it is not an impossible problem. It's just, are we actually going to do stuff or are we not going to do stuff? Like, are we going to allow cheating to continue or are we not going to allow cheating to continue? It becomes a thing where like, are you going to actually like fix these problems or are you going to be like, nah, I'm good. I'm chilling. It's like, okay, unlucky.
I mean, it has to come like from the top, I think. 100%. And then they need to have a lot of foresight, try to like plan this out and like the second order effects, third order effects of this, because I feel like some of the decisions that were made sometimes is kind of short-sighted. And they didn't realize like, hey, maybe a Century winning team may not sign their agreement, and then that could happen.
They have
imagine.
Nobody knew
Can you imagine?
They have suits. They have business people that are trying to think for us as if they are us, and that's where it becomes really problematic.
Yeah,
and I think an even bigger problem now is the whole salary cap thing is blocked by lawyers because they're afraid that because it gets really tricky. Here's an example: if you're 17 years old, in most professional sports league, you can't even sign a contract. So think of the legalese here. So what do they have to do now? Now they have to age gate Valorant. But they catered Valorant to what? A younger audience. And now they've put all these marketing dollars and all these systems in place to promote like the Zekins. I mean, he's kind of older now, but like you get my point, right?
Yeah.
Well, now you have to put a kibosh on all that, or you have to reset all that, or you have to, you're going to need people that obviously have the balls, but also the know-how on like what's best for everything else. And now we're talking. This is why it's impossible. It's because
three different laws, right? You got German law, Korean law, and American law. It's just so hard. So
yeah. So it's kind of tough. But what are you gonna do?
Well, it's a market though. So
unlucko bucko, I guess.
Yeah, unlucky.
China has a salary cap.
I was actually going to talk about that. Yes, but China is in control of what? China. So because Tencent owns Riot, Riot can't actually say anything about what happens over there. As a matter of fact, because Riot sold to China, you have NA people that now have to go to the behest of the Chinese. So when the Chinese go, oh, you're going to make a VCT in China, and it's going to be in next year, and it's going to require this, and it's going to require that, no one in NA can say anything. Because if they do, they're out of a job. So, right. So China has it because, and also China has it because their favorite, they are smart enough to protect the investment, which is the teams and the ownership, because imagine China having a financial instability problem like North America. So yes, China does have it, but unlucky.
I got deep, bro. That got
We're
really
not those
deep.
guys. You know what I'm saying, Alex? We're not those guys.
That got really deep. Let's bring it back to the free agency announcements and everything. We got tomaszy announcing restricted free agency. He was a part of KC. I think KC's making a couple different changes. Obviously, Narrate is rumored to be joining some NA teams. I think he just has the pick of the litter right now. Narrate can go wherever he wants. I believe.
More than likely 100T.
Yeah.
Really? More than likely.
That's what you think, brother. That's what you
I
think.
thought I was gonna go to Sentinel.
Same, bro. Anyways.
Well, yeah. That's also.
I have no info about it.
No. Yeah.
What do you guys think about Narrate though? Like from your guys' perspective as a player, because
He's really good, man.
yeah, we were gonna make me and Frost were, if he didn't go to Talon, and obviously if Narrate didn't get the opportunities he got, we were gonna make a Ascension team or a Challengers team. It was like me, Narrate, whatever, and I was like, when I watched him play, I was like, nah, bro, you're duelist for sure. That was when I was still playing full-time duelist, whatever, bro. I was like, nah, dude, if you're playing on my team, like you got it. Like I got you, bro. I'll play your fucking flex, whatever.
And then
I'll
he
support
flexed
you.
and killed it, right?
And then he did, yeah. And then he goes flex and he kills it. But
That's
I think
insane.
he could play anything though. That's the cool thing about seeing him perform.
Yeah.
In EMEA.
I think the Heart of Hearts would be like 100T is a perfect fit, but yeah, the Sentinels one seems to be the more likely scenario.
He just talked about trying to go for the bag, you know.
Yeah.
I think he'll go Sen.
What do you think the best team he should join is? I guess that's a good question. Like out of all the NA teams, like that they're rumored,
fit,
you got
or
got
best
NRG,
or
got 100
team.
Thieves.
Like
Best fit for him as a player.
I think for sure 100T.
Out of like 100 Thieves, NRG, and Sen, like where would you guys think that Narrate would be best?
Org, I think Sentinels for sure. He stays there.
So if it's 100 Thieves, he would replace Cryo, right? So, I mean, something that was a critique of.
He won't replace
no,
I promise.
no, okay.
Mm.
I mean, the good thing about his last year is that he showed ability to flex between two roles. It's funny, KC was a team with 3 duelists, and he won the duelist job at the end. I don't know if you guys noticed that. Like towards the end, he started.
right?
Yeah, he's like, I'm the best one of the 3. Let me just take over. And then, like he still has a good fade, so like he'll play a fade map here and there. But he's special, man. He's highly sought after for sure.
Josh is sitting here like, yeah, bro, he's actually joining G2. I'm playing. That would be crazy. Frost is sitting here so convinced, bro. Josh is like, oh, really?
Listen, that would be outstanding. I would not be poo-pooing that move at all.
No, not at all, bro. I'd be actually scared, bro. If
I'm
I
just
was
trying to
if I was a
forecast.
coach or a player on a team, I would be fucking shitting myself having to play G2 if Narrate was on it. Holy fuck. Anyways, okay.
Oh.
What do you think, Alex?
Oh, Narrate?
Yeah, what team do you think would fit him best out of 3 teams? I'm gonna go NRG, 100 Thieves, Sun.
He's like,
I don't know anything about
I don't
NA,
care
man.
about those NA peasants.
He's like, fuck him,
They're
brother.
they're so far removed, you know.
All right,
I think I'll just go to Sentinel, man.
right. That's what
I don't know about best.
If I was
fit,
him, I
would
would
just go to Sentinel. Yeah.
How could you not want to go to Sun, bro? Like any player they get just blows up. Like your career just goes like this, bro.
Yeah,
Join
it's
Sun.
longevity after that, you know.
It's unbelievable, bro. You could
He's
be on their team for 1 year, and
Yeah, he's also good enough to like rule the team, you know. He's really, really good.
Facts, bro.
He was when we were in LA scrimming, we were playing scrims against every team, and he was trying for every team. So I would scrim NRG, playing against this guy, and I see the name, and I was like, who's this guy? He's smashing us. We play in the next team, and he's also there. He's also scrimming. And then the next one, it just never ended.
Yeah,
He was really, really good.
He was sick. I was surprised to see how, because you don't know with some of these players, like sometimes they can like you can get like a really good player, they perform on LAN like dog shit like the first couple times, but he was one of those players that just like off the rip was just like insane. Same with like Primmie. Primmie's first match was probably, I think, the best rookie performance I've seen. Like the way that he like
Governor versus Secret put foot in ass.
Bro. But the stakes are just so
well, yeah,
different,
stakes are different, but
like Primmie came into your
storyline
team
might
in
be the
playoffs
best for sure.
and 5v2.
And he IGL'd. Now that we finally got that. I don't know if I ever told you, Alex. You know that?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. Okay.
I bet you told me the whole thing.
Oh, okay. My fault. But yeah. Yeah, bro.
I thought
Yeah. So storyline, yes.
Oh,
But
it
in terms
wasn't
of like actual impact and score, no. Governor put foot in ass.
You know, when Governor came to Asia, we were screaming with Talon. We were like, who is this? Razor. He's just insane. He was killing everyone. Like,
yeah,
this NA tier 2 teams must be so good.
That's what Frost was saying.
Then I destroyed him and made him a decoy to fit other problems, to fix other problems. And then but when he gets baby, like when he gets like all the flashes, all the smokes, all the support, he's good.
He kills people.
Nice.
He's awesome.
He kills people.
Peter's awesome.
Do you regret that choice, or do
Now,
you still stand
fuck
by
yeah.
it? Okay.
But I just had to, I just had to do what I needed to do to win, and I just did the best. Like I'm just playing in my win condition. What I
Like
see,
the long game, right?
yeah. What I see is like, oh, he can create openings, like what you showed with Primmie. Instead, it was for Ban. Then he unlocked Ban's game. Then it was like, great. Now I need to unlock Jit's game. Then I need to unlock this. How do I do that? I got to get these guys in spots. And Peter, like the thing I love about Peter the most is that he's no bitch. Like Peter is not afraid of anybody. I've been on teams where players are like, I don't want to play against I don't want to do this against the team. I don't want to play this agent. Peter is not afraid of anything or anyone. If I'm like, and he's selfless, so he's a great teammate. So if I'm like, this game, I need you to do this for Jit. All right. This game, I need you to do this for Ban. All right. Like, there is no ego with him in terms of, like, production. Like, he has a bad game, ACS-wise. He doesn't go like, yo, I'm not doing this shit anymore because you guys are making me look like an idiot. He's never said that to me once, even though I make him look like an idiot. Now, sometimes
He's an idiot
we have
on
to
his
come
own.
to him and apologize. He doesn't even, like, tell us anything. It's more like, we know, hey, this was on us, not you. Don't worry about it or whatever. And like, he'd be like, yeah, I know, bro. It was fucking hard. And, blah, blah, blah. And he'll tell you, when you give him the floor, he'll tell you, I don't like you doing this because I feel like I could just do this or that. So sometimes you need a little, sometimes I think he needs a little more fuck you in him. Like, no, I got this. So that's where my regret comes from, is there's a lot of matches that in retrospect, I think if I just let Peter play, it might have been better because sometimes what I predicted didn't work. Like a la the 13-0 against Alex when he beat my ass. Like, what if we just play a normal game and just don't like troll? And I just let him have a game, right? Like, it just...
Yeah, just do that next year.
So, yeah.
Okay, on the other spectrum, what's it like having a bunch of players, Alex, for you that are kind of just like wild cards? Like, do you try to do the opposite? Like, or like, I know you give them freedom, but have you ever tried to like limit them, like, Governor per se?
We spent an entire year this year trying to do that. It's a bit hard.
That's what I thought, bro. I could
Yeah,
tell by
I've
the
been
way you
trying
guys
very,
were
very hard,
playing.
yeah.
I was like, dude, they're trying to make the adaptation.
I feel that the narrative, that everyone says, oh, we're not disciplined anymore. It got to them a little bit, Everyone, they came to me one day and said, we gotta play post plant, we gotta play at the back, we gotta use some utility. I'm like, huh? Okay, we can try. And then it's just very disjointed because I think the instincts is to try and make sure that they get one more, and then they run away after that.
Yeah.
And then now they're like, we play against G2 and we got no, is it G2? No, it's against 100 teams and we got lined up like 4 times in the game. It's never happened in my entire life. Like people getting like collates against us because they're all running to each other, and trying to hold angles
scattered,
together.
yeah.
Normally we're scattered, so and I see that I'm like, shit, this is not gonna work. Like we need an off season for that. Like this year was so tight. You have no time, like as soon as you try and change something, it's like every
it's gonna
match
be ass
is
next
4
year
days.
too, so.
4 days later, It's
Unlucky.
like we lose the game. Like 3-4 days later, you're playing another game and you have like 6 maps to fix. 7 if you wanna win the tournament, you probably need the 7 maps. Yeah, it was so hard this year. So we're trying to change. Like people say we're not trying, we're trying. It's just very hard. There's no time.
Who says you're not trying? That's insane.
You know,
Yeah,
like
every-
Reddit,
the community,
and,
man.
yeah, Reddit. The
Yeah.
community also says that G2
They're
plays
brutal,
a boring
man.
game. They can suck.
Yeah,
my
that's-
balls.
Yeah, I didn't get that either, man. It's kind of
Just a little bit slower, yeah.
Yeah, I mean, it's just seeing the field and like, all right, we can play a little bit of a slow game, and that can make teams like make mistakes.
Nah, your
so,
team is boring as fuck.
Yeah. Hey, come
Hell
on,
no.
come on, we got
So are we.
It's not flashy. That's
So
for
are the
sure.
Patriots. So are the Spurs. We're not fucking Alex. We can't just be like, oh, I'm just
Okay,
gonna chill on
okay.
everybody today. That's not our game, bro. We play. It's okay, bro. Listen, we are Talon, worst watch in the league. That's fine, bro. It's okay. Are we winning? That's all I care about.
true.
But being honest though,
That's why.
our game, 100 Thieves, also boring as shit, right? Like, who else? Oh, if we go EU, there's like 16 in the league that are mad boring. Liquid, like we can go.
Yeah.
There's only a few teams in the world that are like must watch, and it's okay. Like, but those are also the teams I think that have like the highest highs and the lowest lows. Like Foot, for instance, I felt like that was a must watch team, but sometimes that team tripped over themselves all year, right? Like all year, you see these games. One series, one map, another series, another map. They have these games where they just look like they've never played before, but then they're just like their apex is like, wait. Are the Turkish just gonna win everything this year? It's just shit happens, bro.
No.
It's okay, bro. Acknowledge that you're boring and just say, "Yeah, man, come beat me. Let's go."
We'll be the Spurs, Like
Yes,
it's fine.
there's
It's
nothing
fine.
wrong with that. 4 chips.
I'll try to win.
That's right, bro.
Yeah.
We can't all be Alexon.
Yeah, you can.
Yeah, you can.
You gotta have the right.
No,
Just-
we tried it.
fucking
Got
right.
13-0. Fuck
There's
that.
one guy right here. You should pick up this guy. Wait, I can
Babybay,
point out.
I
Oh,
wish.
me?
I wish, bro.
He can do it for you.
I wish.
Almost, bro. Almost.
I wish.
There was
So
almost
this
an
way, this
era.
way.
Yeah, it's been
Yeah,
hard.
there was almost an era where like there was a world that maybe could have been on G2, bro, and that would have been kind of
Yeah.
fun. I would have like
would have
speaking of
changed the
somebody
timeline.
that'll go the fuck in, bro. That would have been me, bro. But I'll tell you what though, I would have straight up gone there. Like if let's say hypothetically I got picked up, I would have been like, nah, all y'all, nah,
Follow
no
me.
girlfriends, no girlfriends, dog, no girlfriend. The game, bro. The game is our girlfriend. Nah, I'm playing, bro. Everybody can have a good girl in their life. Girls can actually elevate you. But the jokes aside, yeah, that would have been fucking funny, bro. Running it down for the G2 boys. Shit.
Hey, I mean, we'll match your pace. I mean,
Could you imagine
Oh,
a
brother.
fast
Oh, I would
G2?
love to entry.
Alex is like, yeah,
Yes,
bro,
let's do
yeah,
it.
play our game.
Maybe I can win.
I would love to entry for a G2 and then just have Trent get 5, bro, after I like found out where everybody's at because I just like died instantly. Holy fuck,
Yeah.
bro. Can you imagine? God, dude, I would love that. That would have been that's like every duelist dream. Is to
No
like
following you.
is to not have the pressure of having to go in and actually kill like 2-3. Because like I feel like
Yeah.
that's how it is with G2. Like I feel like as a duelist, you go in, just the space is enough for like everybody else on that roster to be like, all right, we won the round. Like, oh, bombs down because we got sight after you pathed in correctly. W, GG.
Yeah, you would have been
you
like,
did your
"Yo."
fucking job.
Yeah, that's what I
And
see
then-
was doing. Yeah. Sometimes
And,
it's
then-
distracting.
and then that relieves so much pressure off the duelist. All of a sudden, the duelist gets 1 or 2. I'm like, oh, fuck,
Yeah.
bro. We definitely won now, bro. GG.
Low key,
Yeah.
my favorite map this whole year, the one I've enjoyed the most,
Yeah.
was
Is yours the
Heretics.
team?
No. No, that is. Oh, fuck you, Alex. That is still, man. That's tough, bro. I'm trash. Anyways, it's Heretics versus G2, the Ascent game, where
Oh
Heretics
my God.
haven't even played Ascent. They played it like
Oh
twice.
my God.
They're like up 11-2.
Fuck.
Josh and
Oh,
the
they may
boys just
come
come
back,
back
yeah.
and just win the game. Like,
Off
that
of
map
what?
is
Off of IC
insane,
getting
bro.
like 3 D headshots on an eco round. I
yeah,
think.
it's
and Trent. Don't forget Trent.
no.
Backside B,
Trent was
man.
big.
Oh my
Backside B
God.
for
Yeah.
sure.
The
Just owning
Odin
kids.
The Odin, bro.
Yeah,
That's exactly what I was talking about. You get a good Sova player on Ascent, it's fucked.
yeah.
It's fucked in the head, bro.
Yeah,
I
that
remember-
map is stupid, man.
Yeah.
That map is stupid.
It's so
Like
stupid.
that map was
yeah.
like exciting only because of the comeback, but in reality, though, it was a boring fucking match to watch. Especially when they're coming back and dominating on defense. You're like, oh, Heretics don't know what to do, and they just won every round the same.
But
And
what's
Heretics
worse is
couldn't
that
go B. Like everyone,
their macro was great.
yeah,
They moved this around and put us on a weak side B, and it's like, all right, there's 2 B max, let's go. Just Trent backside B getting 3. So it's
Yeah.
like I could tell, and like I was hearing Neil after the game, like the map is fucking stupid. Like oh, Bandits never playing this map again, and like, they banned it for the rest of the year. So, I mean, yeah, that map sometimes like you can do the right things and just one dude backside, and it's just these entrenched positions, man.
Oh, same thing happened to us with Tex. He gets 2 rounds in a row on Cypher. One of them with a Guardian. He kills 3 because Primmie missed the wall.
Yeah.
And he hit his head on the wall. So now we don't have that angle. This motherfucker bop, bop, bop. It's like off angle, crouched in front of triple. Who does that? This guy. That guy.
Dude, that's actually a great great thing that I want to ask about. Like Josh, just because you have experience with Tex, he was obviously your main duelist when you guys won Ascension. What was it like seeing his development go to that new team on Leviathan and then like kind of actually fry on that Senti role? Were you like shocked a little bit, or you just happy for the lad? Like what do you think about him like being able to do that? Because you have experience playing with him.
Yeah, super happy for Ian. I mean, he beat us all year, so like I mean, he's super motivated to like just beat us every time. Like it's unfortunate that we can continue with him, and so I think Gokid, the head coach at the time for Lev, before he was announced, like he messaged me out of the blue, like, "Do you recommend Ian?" I'm like, "Yeah, I think he should probably go Sentinel though." Because like I don't know, I wasn't sure at the time, like he can hang head to head against. Funny enough, I used Ospas at the time. Yeah. Yeah. Like he ended up being teammates with them, so I thought it was like a really good role swap. And the style is complement because like everyone knows, like Ospas isn't that guy that will just like fly in all the time, right? Yeah. And so having someone on Cypher or whatever, like taking the first engagement for the team, like he does it for that team. Just look at his first kill, first death engagements. He's up there.
Yeah, part of that is because he's on a team that kind of has some masturbators, if you know what I mean. So you need a guy like that.
Yeah, he's willing to do it. So like that's always a good quality for him.
Yeah, that's the band special. It's like, yo, band, we need to kill. Go. Like, all right, I got you, bro.
My next question will be this is for all you coaches individually, is because we kind of talked about this a little bit with you, Alex, about like the off season, but like what can we expect you guys to either work on or like change? What's going to be your guys' focus going into next year? What do you think is like the most important thing that you learned this year that you're going to bring into the next as well? So I'll go with you first, Alex. Like, because obviously you guys were already talking about, okay, maybe we want to play a little bit more structured, play post plant, stuff like that. What do you think your team needs to work on the most going into this next year?
I haven't really thought about it, to be honest. But then I know what we did talk about was this year, the burnout was really bad. Like if the schedule is anything like worse than this year, then we know that this off season you actually need to work on everything. I think it's map pool. I think we want to go next year with 7 maps no matter what. And then after that, we want to work really hard in off season so that we can take it a little bit easier during the season. Because if we work the same way that we did during the season, like you know how I had to pick out an assistant coach. It's like it's mainly because I cannot focus anymore. It was so much work that it was. I think first time in my life that I've been like really overwhelmed. It just feels like I have so many things to do. Normally it's under control. I mean, like the players help out and stuff, but everyone just like we work and then everyone's so tired we can't even play after scrims, and we just so we shut down. I think we need to find a way to make sure that we're not so exhausted between every game. Like generally, I think we weren't happy this year. It's impossible. I mean, of course, if you win, it solves everything. But then, like if you're losing, it's like the thing compounds. Like suddenly all the problems are like magnified. And we wanna come into I mean, I don't know when we start, maybe October, but we will take like the next 2-3 months really, really seriously. And then after that, during the season, we will try our best to make sure that we maintain it rather than like push really hard during the season.
burned out. Yeah.
So tired, man.
How do you deal with the burnout too though? Because if you are starting earlier, which I feel like that kind of is the blueprint now for a lot of these teams. Like if you looked at like Sentinels, like they didn't really have much of any type of off season at all.
And they didn't
Like,
make Shanghai
they
because
just-
of that, no?
Were nonstop, and then they burnt out at the end. So like, how do you deal with that too? Like, how do you?
I'll
like,
be
it's
honest,
just- is it even possible? Like,
I don't know. It's like I
bro, for
really
real
don't know.
though, right? It's like crazy.
Because I don't even know how to rest. Like Josh said, you know, like we rest for 1 week, right? And then suddenly you feel as though you have to work. So like, I haven't. The week that I came back to Singapore, I didn't leave the house. You know? I just stayed at home the whole day. I didn't call anyone. I just tried to like disappear, and then after that, I'm back. You know, I think you just got to find a way to rest in Korea. We need to find a way to. I think what Genji did after Shanghai was good. You know, I think what they did was they just didn't care about Split 2 so much. They just like, okay, forget it. We're gonna make the playoffs somehow. Like, we had a really easy group, and they just like took 2 weeks off. You know, they didn't really play. They just showed up for the match. I think that's what happened. So I saw them like going to like kayaking or canoeing or whatever it was, and they were like hanging out as a group. I think that's necessary. I think, of course, you can reward yourself when you win Shanghai. I mean, that's something not many teams can do. we have to work through our problems. But I think like Sentinels also suffered, right? Like they win full strength for 5 months, won Madrid, and then after that couldn't qualify.
right?
So nobody knows what to do actually.
Yeah, I think the scheduling, like Alex said, it was really tough for me as well. And looks like next year's going to be also pretty bad, even though it's extended. I didn't like the fact that we're going to start in January, because that means like, okay, what's preseason practice? You got early January. What's before that? Winter break. But you already know every team's going to work in the off season. Like I've been hearing this like everywhere. Like we're all going to work really hard in the off season. We're going to play a lot. I'm already hearing teams like they're going to start practice in October. So this game can be unforgiving. I started to realize that as well this year, like how much is on a head coach's shoulders, and then at the same time, like to the players, and like they feel the pressure, they feel the effects of that, the travel. Like it's not short stints. Like you're there for like a month, and some change. Like you're just uprooting your life every three times a year if you're like a really successful team. And it's worse for the teams that don't make it. Like you're just sitting back watching all the other teams play, you know? So I don't know what the solution is, but yeah, like learning to rest and recover is probably something I'm going to be thinking about. Like making sure like I prioritize sleep, always like guard that, because I was one of those workers that like, yeah, I could just like screw it, 5 hours of sleep, I'm gonna just get something done. But I felt the effects in Korea, like it started to compound, and like I think like pretty unhealthy towards the end. So yeah, it's probably something I'm going to figure out.
That's actually a great point that we were talking about. We were actually praising Kong for, because Frost was saying that the thing that impressed him the most. Here, why don't you just say it, Frost? What impressed you the most about Kong during that whole performance that he had in that finals run, like at Champs?
His energy. So, for instance, I typically don't like. So, I've always, my whole life, I hate rah-rah. Yeah! Because you waste so much fucking energy. Like, when you're competing with anyone in anything, you want to be calm so you can make the best decisions and have the fastest reactions, right? This day and age, that shit is way different. Everybody wants to just yell and like pop off and do all this bullshit, right? And fine, okay. So he started doing that shit game one. But I saw there was one game, I forget, it was a bind, I think. They were up like 8-0. He's still popping off. And I'm thinking, wait a minute, this is a red flag. Conserve your energy, bro. Like, you're up 8-0. There's no real, who are you rah-rahing for? Fast forward all the way to finals. Every round, every kill, this guy is still like, Bro, you just went through a month-long tournament, and he's still round after round after round after round after round popping off. What I did pay attention to was he was also at the gym. Obviously, Josh, you saw me at the gym a lot. This guy was in the gym. Almost every day I was there, I saw Kong at least once. Sometimes I would go to the gym twice a day. I at least saw him once, right? His physical, so his skill and all the things that they did as a group, great, fantastic. Not taking it away from them. But the underrated thing about his game and the underrated thing about his tournament, people are never going to compliment or appreciate his physical fitness and how much it affected that tournament run. But the one way they can is to look at the first game of the tournament and look at every round of every other game and look at the camera reactions of his and look at all of his pop-offs. This guy had more energy than every single player at the tournament, and he did it round after round after round after round. And that I thought was crazy impressive, because I have been in tournament wins with players that I'm not going to name that after the tournaments, they're like on the couch. Bro, you win. We're not popping champagne. We're not doing any of this shit. They're in the back on the couch, ready to go to sleep. They don't want to have a team dinner. They want to go to the hotel room. I'm talking like world titles. I'm talking just normal tournament wins. This guy was making fun of a teammate right after, laughing, chilling, like singing a fucking song. I don't even know what he's saying. Like, that low key to me is the most impressive part of everything I saw. And most people aren't going to discuss this because they don't even like know. Like, we know what it takes, especially since we like go to the gym and we like grind the hours that we grind. He probably does too. He's probably on our same schedule. There are some teams, admittedly, that don't even fucking play, which I won't get into. But
Holy
they're
shit, that's
probably
crazy.
like us. And yet this motherfucker still had the energy to do everything I just mentioned. And I was blown away by that. I'm still like, dude, he's a sicko.
He wouldn't be able to keep that up though if he didn't do things to help his
His physical
his
yeah.
health out. Just like Josh was saying about trying to figure out a schedule that works for you so it's not unhealthy, because you can get degen really fast in this gaming shit, bro. Like it can snowball out of control if you don't get the right sleep as a player. Even like you're gonna be slow as shit, bro.
Yeah,
Governor. Keep it a buck, bro. Yeah, no, but seriously, and at a high level, man, that one little micro decision that you probably would have made if you had a clear mind, or if you got the hours in, or if you like even just got the blood flowing for your brain in the first place, it makes worlds of a difference. Because this game, like we've been saying, not only with the schedule is it punishing, but the actual in-game shit. The fact that if you lose pistol and if you lose the bonus or your first gun round, whatever, like you're down like 5 rounds already, it's fucked. Especially on a map like Ascent. Dude, like these tiny things carry on a long way. And it's something that people don't really think about, especially a lot of these younger pros. They do not think about this shit. And that's why when I think of people like specifically in tier 2 NA, Alex, you might not be familiar with him, but there's this player named Verno. He has literally been bred to fucking be a champion player, like an athlete, bro. Like his parents have him on a meal plan anywhere he fucking goes.
I heard this.
Yeah,
It's real.
He literally, bro, he'll be playing ranked here. Like he was here for like the Sentinels tournaments in LA. He would be playing ranked with like Zekken at like 9 p.m. Once 9 p.m. comes along, he'll get a phone call from his like family or like his mom or something. Yo, you're done. Like come back. You gotta
Go to bed. Yep.
Yeah. And in the middle of a ranked game, he'll fucking leave. He'll just leave. He doesn't give a fuck, bro.
Wow.
But like, that's why this kid is so fucking good, though. Like, he's got the discipline of like a professional sports athlete, and he's quick. He's so quick in the server, dude. Like, I've never gotten sat down by somebody so fast, bro. Like him and Osboss are probably two of the fastest players I've played against in terms of just reaction time. Like, as soon as I peek, I'm dead.
Yeah, it's funny that you mentioned Osboss, because he was one player I actually interviewed earlier this year. So like he was available, and like we were trying to figure out like who can we get? Yeah, I mean there's
Whoa.
Yeah, we had some names.
That's some freaky shit, bro.
So like I was able to understand some of his process, and like throughout the year also like hearing about it as well, like from third party, just like this guy has a routine 2 days out before a match. And I told that to the team. I'm like, guys, like look, this is the best in the world that's doing it. Start to be more professional, build a process, have a routine. Like stop treating this like it's like a hobby. Everybody's going to get better. And you got this guy coming up, Verno, like look at him, right?
Yeah.
And like you get
how are you going to compete?
Players. Well, like players initially will just be like, nah, it's whatever. That doesn't help or whatever. But like you'll see, I mean, I'm glad you told that story about Concon, because I didn't know that. I didn't know he was like hitting the gym all the time. But like I heard from like EDG's manager, like what they're doing to try to get the players to be more professional, because like they had a huge fail at Shanghai, right? Like home ground.
Oh, unbelievable.
They messed up. Like that must have been so like embarrassing for them. So like, all right, let's lock it down. Let's make sure Soul's like, we're on top of it. And like, it's not surprising in hindsight, you know, that they won, but like having someone with like that much energy, knowing when to put it into the team, so invaluable. And that's probably something like I'm going to be exploring with my roster, like how to get some of my guys to get like, look, we need consistent energy. Look how long the season is, how much that demanded from us. Like we're dying, and like all these other teams were dying, you know, like, and look at this guy. This guy's yelling on top of his lungs, you know, and singing a song. Like you said, like this guy has it. So let's use that as a model. And look at the guys coming up, right? So yeah, I think it's a call for teams, players, coaches to be more and more professional, because it's gonna get tougher. The competition's like so insane, I think.
Yeah. I've been preaching this shit to my guys. I can't get them to listen. I actually need community support. So when people watch this, please, for all the Thai fans, I need you to clip this, send it to Primmie, send it to fucking Jit, please. Right? So Sawadee Kop, everybody. Guys, hit the fucking gym. Get fucking sleep. You guys don't understand
eat the right foods, man.
The issues I have with it, it's so crazy, and I'm not gonna get into it all because who cares? But I'm just gonna say, yeah, man, it's been difficult for me because I'm the fucking old guy, or I'm the asshole that everyone is just like, yeah, fuck you, fuck you, fuck you. Years later, they're like, damn, bro, you were right. Well, yeah, bitch. Now you're out the league. Now you can't fucking play. Who cares? The physical fitness aspect of this is so important. And I think people just like they poo-poo the idea of getting themselves like their body ready. Like, and that to me is just kind of crazy because like I know what it's like to lose yourself, because I've already talked about this, but like there was at one point on flip side where I'm coaching 3 different divisions. So I'm coaching CS. I'm coaching CS in the morning, Rocket League in the afternoon, and our fighting game division at night and A-time. I blew up to like 245.
Oh, he was big. He was fucking
like
big. He showed me a picture.
I showed it on this. Yeah,
I couldn't believe it.
So I showed him a video of me playing Daigo Umehara, who's like the greatest fighting game player of all time, by the way, on stage at a Red Bull event. And when you look at me, I don't even look like the same human, right? So like, if you guys want, I will show you that off air. There's no reason to go back here. But like, I know what it's like to not do it and to lose yourself. So it's not like I'm just some douchebag that like hasn't lived their life. It's not like I wasn't a player at some point. It's not like I wasn't in other games at some point. Like, it's not like I haven't learned these things. But trying to convince people to do this, or trying to get them to do this without finding them. Because that's the thing, is like the only way for me to like actually get them to do shit is to find them with money. But then you create this weird dynamic where now it's like you're punishing them to do this. Yeah. And in order to build this sort of like I feel like when it comes to physical fitness, and I don't know about mental health, but I imagine it would be the same way when we're talking to a therapist. You can't force people to do this. Like, I feel like positive reinforcement is the way to do it. But it doesn't matter the positive reinforcement I give. I can give cookies. I can give money. I can give, like, my own free time. Yo, I'll be your personal trainer.
What about a championship, though?
They're just... But that's the thing, though.
I bet when you win that championship, all of a sudden, the shit was all
Here's the problem. People say they are about that life, but they're really not about that life, right? Like, going back to what Alex said about about his offseason, these tournaments and stuff. Bro, we're going back with the same fucking schedule that we had this year. And it was already inhumane. But why? Because we're not those guys, right? Like, I'm getting ranked on my own show by like everybody about like, yo, we're scrimmers or we're fucking O2 barbecue. This is what we are. If we want to be better than what we are, we need to be different. And that means we might have to do more. I might not have the luxury of being as good as Alex or Josh. Our players may not be as good as those players either. So we have to close the gap somehow. We're not going to do that in our fucking shorts in our mom's basement. Right? We actually have to put in the work. And some of that isn't just, let me spend 16 hours in Valorant ranked. Right? Like, some of those sacrifices have to be other sacrifices. But I cannot convince my guys to not only be consistent with schedules. I'm talking like sleep. Like, I'm talking what you guys are talking about. I know I'm harping on
you mean
working
like the bare
out,
minimum, right?
But I mean like everything, like eating correctly, not keeping sugar low. Bro, I got guys, I won't mention names. These motherfuckers are pounding Red Bulls and Coke every day for practice. And I'm like, guys, do you realize how terrible this is? And there is nothing I can say to them to stop this. Because the only thing I can do is negatively reinforce these behaviors, or negatively counteracting these behaviors by doing things like getting pissed off, yelling at them, arguing them, forcefully removing it, obviously cursing at them, because some people know I like to do that from time to time. You know what I'm saying? Or finding them with money. Because no matter how nice or no matter what I want to do, no matter how I'm trying to convince them, like, yo, there is a better way. You'll feel much better when you do these things or when you eliminate this from your life. They just don't give a fuck. And I think they'll give a fuck when I'm gone. And that's the sad part, is like, I'm trying to do this now. Right? Like the window we have is small. And I'm not as like charismatic or personable. I just can't convince these motherfuckers to do shit. Like I just can't. So it's just like, so I have to just adjust and like, but like, that's why I'm so impressed by other players exhibiting this level of professionalism, because I think it serves as a positive example to the younger audience that doesn't want to listen to dweebs like me or fucking old heads, right? So I'm hoping, that's why I need the help from the Thai community on this one, to be like, hey guys, look, you see the segment? Look what Josh is
What's
doing.
happening, man?
I know it's that thing, bro. They don't give a fuck, bro.
Yeah.
They're gonna look at me and say, man,
It's just very hard to tell a 20-year-old what
I
to do.
know.
That's actually the real problem.
I feel like that's where the benefit of having I'm not trying to plug myself here, but it's the benefit of having like an older guy with experience on your roster if you already have a bunch of younger kids.
yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like look at Zelsis when he joined Sentinels. That's like a great example, because I swear to God, this Zelsis guy reminds me of like me in Overwatch, like with that roster when I was on like the Shock or Atlanta Reign. Like, cause he's not like old, you know what I mean? But he's definitely like, he's got like Zekin on his team. He's got Tens on his team. You know what I mean? Like these young crack players.
Yeah, he's a glue guy. That's what we call them.
That's what I'm
glue
saying.
guys.
Like, and
He's a glue guy.
he brings that like
Jordan definitely does
professionalism.
that.
In
Bro,
his
he
own
had Zekin
way.
in the gym every day too.
See, there you go.
I'm watching him.
So
I'm watching Zekin. I'm like, okay,
yeah.
okay, Zach. So
There's some
to your point.
intangibles that players can bring.
Yeah.
And for some reason, players, when they hear it from a player, it could be the same exact fucking words. This is what I realized, because I've been helping TSM out with like their run and challengers and Ascension. I would sometimes be saying the same fucking shit that Faded would be saying, but when I said it, they would listen. And I'm just sometimes they just
That
like,
happens too.
Yep.
I'm lucky because I have Cruz. Bro, Cruz is a psycho in the gym. So it's not like it's just that. And Cruz exhibits most of the behaviors that we're talking about here, actually. He's a good embodiment of it. The problem with Cruz is he's nice. Cruz is like the like, I'm not going to tell you how to live your life, man. You're your own man. Right? Now, I'm going to sound completely like off, and I'm sorry, but I am trying to bring some levity to this as well. I don't know what the religion is in Thailand because I'm not really that familiar, so I don't know if it's like Buddhist or like, I'm assuming it's Buddhism or Tao Buddhism or something. But like, he has like that vibe. He has like that dude from, what the fuck's that movie?
Big Lebowski.
Yes, the dude. Let's see how we do, bro. Josh, bro. See, this is why I fuck with you, bro. Same wavelength. Yes, he's like that guy, right? Yeah. Steve too. So like, he's not gonna like, he's like, Hector, man, it's okay, bro. Like, it's all right, man. They don't need to do that, bro. Just let them play rank, bro. Like, it's all good, bro. It's like, fuck, So I will say that I think Asian culture also fits into this problem I'm having specifically, because they kind of like to stay out of each other's way. Like, as an American, it's not that it's okay to impose, but you know what I mean, right? Like, if we're boys, Andre, like, you'll be hard on me. Like, you'll like push.
Yeah.
In Asia, they don't want to push. I'm the only one that's pushing, so it looks like I'm just, a jerk most of the time, which admittedly I probably am. I'm not denying the claim.
Yo, I found a good fat Hector clip here.
Oh,
Yeah, bro.
See it.
Me and Daigo.
God damn.
Oh yeah.
Oh my
No.
God.
That's not even the worst one. No.
I know it's not even the worst. It's just a good clip.
Please show him Daigo. Please show him the Daigo one. I swear to God. You know what I look like? The Blob from X-Men, but dark skin.
I don't know where the Daigo clip is.
It looks so different.
The goddamn is crazy, bro. That's what he was saying after the 13-0, bro. Goddamn. After you seeing not perform at champs, bro. After scrimming you. Goddamn, bro.
How old is this clip? 10 years ago?
That's from RL, like before RLCS.
bro. That's crazy.
I forget what
That's
season.
RLCS, I think seasons 5 or 6. So
I had
actually,
it was from
like,
our boot
more
camp
recent.
at Flipside because I had footage
shit.
from it.
Yeah.
It was a long time ago.
TLDR though, like professionalism is what it is, man. Like, and
There you go,
coming
Steve.
like for the players that watch this, like from the outside in, because I'm
It's
not
important for people to
in
see
the
this.
scene like as a player anymore, technically, right? You're gonna miss it, bro. It's there, and everybody has to hang up the gloves one day. You know, it's gonna come sooner than you think for a lot of these kids that aren't taking it as serious. The reason why I had so much longevity in my career as a pro in four or 5 different games, kind of like Frost in a way, is because I tried doing all that little stuff, all the intangibles good, and like kept my body in good shape. Bro, you know what's so crazy? This is how taxing gaming is. Bro, I took maybe like when I decided to do this casting gig, I took like maybe a month off. First time in my life, by the way, I've ever been able to do that. Right? Like, what the fuck is a month off? Like you guys were saying, you're at home for a week. You're like, what the fuck? I should be doing something. Bro, having to wake up like and not be stressed out was so foreign to me. Because every day I would wake up and I would, okay, I need to get coffee. I need to get this.
Yeah,
I need to
you're
get
used
that.
to the stress, right?
Bro, I loved it. Like I lived
You're
for
used
that,
to the
right?
stress, and when you don't have it, you feel weird.
And you miss it. I truly at times now I'm like, wow, bro, like I miss being a part of even just a team. Like being a part of like
Right there,
everybody.
right there.
Oh my gosh.
Go back
Brother.
in 3 frames.
Brother, you
Yeah,
don't look
you look
like
like
the
Chetsing.
same guy, bro.
Bro. But this is what I didn't know at the time. I was incredibly depressed. I did not understand that at that point in time. I didn't understand because I was just playing and competing and like doing other shit.
Bro, you
And
look so
also
different.
overworked.
I'm hitting
This
there
is-
though.
This
Just
is so
getting bigger
trippy,
also.
bro.
You got to think about it though. I'm at the time waking up, Counter-Strike.
Yeah.
Middle of the day when Counter-Strike is done, Rocket League. Then at night, FGC. And it's like that was my life for sure that at least 2 years. Towards the end of Flipside, that was like what I was doing. Cause like most people don't know, like I started in Dota, but I had to learn all these games next to my pros because I'm trying to help them win. And also I'm not trying to waste money. Like if I sign you, you're definitely winning, you know, like, and if I have to help you by learning it and then playing it and then like, you know, then sure, I'm going to do it. But like, this is the sort of thing that I never want to go back to, but I also need to understand, or I also needed to understand myself that there are not only physical limitations, there are also mental limitations to what you can do. Because at that time, again, I'm still doing everything by myself because we didn't have the money to hire, like, you know, this or that. I still contend one of the best times and easiest times I've had coaching ever was on 100 Thieves with Jovi. Because so much of the load, because not only did I have Jovi, I had Steve. So this is what most people don't know. What Steve did was, if you could bring it up, I have it, but he used to create. So our first iterations of playbooks weren't actually they were playbooks. They were master sheets that players, you know how it is. Players don't like to fucking read. So like it's hard for them to understand a playbook. So what I did was I used Steve's background to help me visualize plays. So he'll show, okay, you come here, here's your lineup, boom. Then the next guy, you do this, boom. And like, so then it became like videos, almost like well-produced YouTube videos, right? And like, I had way more help there. I've now since lost that again, but seeing what my life was back then on F3, then seeing what it was on 100 Thieves when you actually had the ability to have all the other pieces was literally like, not only life-changing, look, I stopped eating. I started gymming because you have more time. And this is what I'm trying to like explain to players. It's like, you know, you may not need to play more ranked if you physically feel better, you're more confident. You know, if you have more mental energy, you can just study, you know, do your job studying, scrim, spend time in a lab, still perform. Or you could do it your way, play 16 hours a day in Valorant, sleep maybe 8. Most of the times you're not going to. But then you start doing this. And then when you start doing this, Now you're more physically tired. Now instead of 16 hours, it's 12, 13 hours. But now those 3 hours, you're not doing anything productive. Little by little, everyone else starts catching up to you. Then what happens? You start losing confidence. Now you're fucked.
We've
But
seen it so many times.
yeah,
Many times.
Yeah, we've seen so many.
or you could just do it the right way from the beginning and actually produce. And and it's like my career isn't a story to people because like I told you that story, Andre, about Primmie laughing in my face about something that he ended up going through at Champs. And now it's like, well, I tried to prevent it from happening in the first place. Instead, you laughed at me like I don't know any better because I'm a fucking asshole. And now look, and now you go through it. And now instead of having to use someone else's experience and like, knowing what to do when it happens, now you have to live through it. But now we all have to live through the failure. Unlucky. Right. And it's like, I've actually showed that video to like Cruz and to Ban and to all these other guys like, hey, listen, you don't ever want to get like this. Even though we're putting a lot of hours, you need to take some time to like, do cardio, go to the gym, do this or that. You need to eat
No one's
better.
telling you to be like a fucking meathead. Like, you don't need to be like, like trying to do bodybuilding. Like, just like 30 minutes of even just walking is like enough. Just doing something other than just like playing a ranked. Bro, also, hella underrated. You were talking about studying the game, bro. This whole year, I've done nothing but watch Valorant. Holy fuck, bro. Like, I had to sub in for some scrims. I made a scrim team to play TSM. I could just like, I see it. I just visualize it in my brain now. Like, I know what the good percentage plays are that teams are going to be making. Like, it's so underrated. Like, I know coaches have a job for a reason, and it's to relay good information, but players should still be studying on their own accord because my God, bro, it definitely translates for sure. For sure it translates. There's no way you're going to get worse studying fucking the game that you're pro in. That could be anything. It could be professional sports too.
Yeah, I was surprised by in Champs. It felt like so many teams didn't even watch games because they just seemed so unprepared or surprised by stuff that I'm like, huh? Like, and even when you heard some of the coaches' interviews, it was like, So I think what you got the chance to do is not something people do very often. And I'm very surprised by this. Actually, really surprised by this. I don't know if you feel the same way, Alex, but like
About being surprised?
No. About like in Champs, it seems like a lot of people didn't actually watch other regions.
I mean, I just feel like everyone's so too tired, man. I'll be honest with you. If every interaction I have with a coach or a team, it looks like I'm walking through a zombie horde, Like, there's nobody has energy. Like, everybody's walking around. Everybody has some kind of problems in the team. There's some kind of baggage that they're carrying throughout the year, and they just can't wait for it to end. It just felt like that in Champs. It didn't feel like that in LA when I was there. But this year just feels, I don't know, man. But of course, like these kind of things, you push through, right? So, but I do think it's more than that. It's more like, this burnout thing. It can also like you forget shit. That's why it looks really bad in matches. But I just think there's too much to remember, too much to do, and everyone's just running out of gas. Like, everyone's running on fumes for sure. Sometimes in the lift, I go in the lift and nobody's talking. They just look at each other and then silence. And I know these people. I'm looking at Gen G people and they just give me a nod. Right? I look at the DX people, give me.
You guys all know you're going through the same shit.
Even when we lost, I lost against G2, and the lift opens and I see the whole Talon there, and we say like 5 words to each other, and then that's it. We go for dinner, but. It's not very. It's very. There's a very low energy event in my opinion.
Except for
Not
Kank.
gonna lie. Yeah, except for him. But not gonna lie, man. I saw you guys at the gym, like one time, and you guys were all like at the gym, and then like I saw you got an assistant coach, you got like a like sports psychologist and stuff. I'm like, yo, these guys are about to cook us, man.
We're too tired.
I told the team, like, guys, like Paper X is gonna be so much better this time. Like, look, I see them at the gym all the time now. They're walking and they're working out and stuff. But yeah, I had high expectations for you guys, but
shit.
Yeah.
But
I don't
no,
want to
I
like blow
understand.
up anyone's spot, but I saw Ilya one day, the night before he played you, and I asked him, yo, how you feeling? he said everything to me there without saying anything. He's like,
Just give me a look. Yeah,
like
it
this,
was
like this.
Too much stress, man.
Okay. We feel okay. I was like, the night before a match? Oh, they're fucked.
Yes.
Oh no.
Like,
I mean, it didn't help that the aircon, the rooms are so damn hot as well. You know?
Oh, yeah.
God,
man.
Korea
It's
was
a
so
mental
hot,
drain,
bro.
It's like extra
Oh,
work, you know.
I've never felt a humidity like that in my life. Seriously, that's
Oh,
my
the
first
prac
time.
rooms, Andre. The prac rooms are.
yeah,
You
they
don't
were
understand,
so
yeah.
bad,
Cooked?
bro.
They're like a barbecue pit, you know.
Bro,
Brother.
it was insane.
Bro, I can't even imagine actually that because my experience was going out at night. And at night, I was like, holy fuck, this is crazy. I can't imagine having to scrim like all day. In
You
a
have
room.
players like their arms are sticking to the mouse pad.
Oh, bro.
They're just so
that's-
pissed. Like,
that's
yo, it's
some
so
grimy
sweaty.
shit.
Yeah,
Yeah.
like we actually introduced arm sleeves to just get that feel, you know?
Wow.
Yeah.
That's
Um,
crazy, bro.
But yeah, the thing is like Alex said, like everybody has baggage. They have a lot of stuff throughout the season, and I always tell the team like, yo, like yeah, we got our shit, they got their shit. Like everybody's going through it, you know. So it's just whoever can like grit and grind through and just maybe win at the end. That's the goal.
Yeah. So.
Yeah,
I thought
it's
we had
tough
that on
season.
lock.
Yeah.
I think this is coming towards the end of the podcast. We just have we have a few questions just from like comments in the YouTube that were asking, stuff about coaching. So the first one's going to be, as a coach, what is your best advice for players who struggle with maintaining a good mental mid-game, especially when it affects team communication? And this is just open floor. Whoever wants to answer it, you guys want to add on, go ahead.
I think the best thing you can do is just make sure you can control what you can control, which is probably your communication and like what your impact is, like whatever your role is in your team. Just make sure you keep doing that and make sure, like in practice, it starts with practice. Like you make sure that never falls down, so that like when it comes to those high pressure moments, like that's going to be a constant. So that's something that's reliable and you'll have confidence in. So like maybe a player can lose confidence in the game. Like you just need to have that one or two things that you can rely on and just make sure you understand your job. You start knocking down a few rounds like that. You'll bring it back. And then that's how you overcome variance, in my opinion. So yeah, just make sure next play. Just make sure you just control what you can control and make sure you do it right for the next one.
The goldfish memory. That's what I call it.
Yeah. You need that.
Next question is...
Alex, hold on.
Oh, go ahead.
I'm
Fire
curious
Alex.
about what he says about not tilting.
Oh, shit. Okay.
Hot
yeah.
calling kettle.
I'm the king of tilting, man. I don't actually. I don't really. This year I tilted them a little bit more than usual, which is not good. I'm quite sorry about that. But then aside from that, I think, yeah, like what Josh said, I usually tell them, look, like you only need to do 20% of your 20% of the team's job. You don't have to do more than that. I think if you try to do more than that, that's where shit happens. That's when you're like, oh, I need to kill one extra guy. Yeah, that's when the dominoes fall, and then everyone just dies. So I think just relax a little bit, It's not the end of the world. I usually tell them, like, even sometimes I tell them in the matches, like, you're alive, you have a life tomorrow. You got a girlfriend. You're gonna play another match the next day. It's not a big deal, Stop taking it so seriously. And then usually after that they loosen up a bit more. Simple advice to a 20-year-old, it works.
It's so funny.
So the next one is, how do you as a coach cope / manage / understand the fact that you cannot directly control the events of your matches?
I want to hear Alex's.
Yeah, I'm looking at Alex. I'm looking at Alex, bro.
Oh man, I don't know. That's so frustrating, I just have to emote.
It's the hardest part of our job for sure.
Yeah, I can't-
That
It's
I
out
know.
of your hands. You
It just
could
feels as though
beat-
you.
Yeah. Go ahead.
I mean, yeah, you just feel as though you could do something more, And it's so frustrating, especially because they forget shit during freeze time or tech pauses.
God.
Oh,
Like you would tell them a bunch of stuff and someone forgets it, and I would say something like, "Look, this round we have to go C, we have to NC," and then like when I can't talk anymore, suddenly someone goes like, "So B, we go B," and then everyone's like, "Yeah," they just run in and die. I'm like,
happens so
"Go."
much. That actually happened in the 13-0 versus you, where I tell Ban to make the adjustment to bring a teammate, and then he peeks.
Before
We're
anything
down like
happens.
4-0. He peeks Forsaken. Forsaken puts him down. There was supposed to be someone else there. And I'm like, brother, why am I calling timeout?
Yeah.
Why am I calling timeout?
That's how I feel every time.
No, but to that point though, the biggest heartbreak I had this season was on Bind when we played Lev. It was like 11-9, calm ults into U-Haul.
Shit.
Oh, that round. Oh,
He had
my
a
God.
set play to counter it. He
I
had a
literally
set play to
prepared them
counter
for
it.
this. Guys, when they have an ult, here's what they're going to do. They're going to try to get on A. They're going to try to ult here, backside. Yo, if we have your ult, hey, late and a half, keep it. Here's what we're going to do. We're going to counter it like this. Bro, we fucking simmed it. We knew exactly what to do, when it was going to happen. It was 11-9. It was a backbreaker round. It was a 2-for-1. When we lost that and he got that kill, I literally was like, bro, what am I even doing here? Like, why am I even coaching? What is going on? Like, what the fuck am I doing this for? So, like, bro, I had so many moments like that this year where it's like, oh, shit, I know what's going to happen here. They're doing exactly what we... Look at the vitality. Losing 3 5v3s in a row might mean I'm the worst coach ever, by the way. Because every round when I'm watching it, I'm like, all right, we got it out the way. They're not going to do it again. It's all good. It's fine. We're up 5v3. I'm telling boy, all right, we got another 5v3. We're going to close this one. Oh, my God. So that is definitely when you want to crawl under a rock and die. For sure.
Killjoy out yourself.
When you have these rounds. Yeah, it's like
Jump off abyss, bro.
Yep. Yeah.
G2 Classic.
Oh man.
No. The Team Secret
Bro,
Classic. They
I
were
can't
first. They're the
believe-
OGs.
Oh, yeah, yeah.
They're the
yeah.
OGs of falling off and dying.
I still can't believe that people got mad at that. It's like, bro, it's a mechanic in the fucking game. It like if they didn't want that to happen,
Because they want to see
They-
some headshots, man.
they
Yeah,
wouldn't have
yeah,
made
yeah.
that happen.
You don't want
It's
to see people jump
funny.
off the map.
It's smart to do that.
What's up?
You know what's funny? Lothar. Okay, so like
That was weird.
Lothar was the one that made a tweet, and I haven't made anything public because like
Yeah.
honestly, the public was defending it for me. So I'm like,
Yeah.
let's see, you know.
Yeah.
But it's just I actually got the idea from Lothar. He doesn't even know that.
Yeah, he,
So, like-
he mentioned it. Right? Yeah.
He doesn't even know that. So I'm,
That is
you know,
so funny.
That's so
I-
good.
Like he's a content creator. He gets the the PBE, gets the
Mhm.
map early, and he was talking about it. Like one errant. I don't remember like exactly when, but I remember watching it. He was saying like, yeah, people are gonna just jump off or whatever. Like, all right,
Yeah,
why don't
good
you
idea.
just do it round 2? Good idea, thanks, man. And so I just wrote
Yeah.
down like what's the EV for what is like the predicted value of this, right?
Mhm.
Like I don't want both orbs are attacker sided. I don't want them to snowball into round 3 and 4 alts. Screw that. Let me just jump off. Like I'm not gonna feed this guy. So
Yeah.
I mean like we'll come to understand soon, I guess, like when the data comes out with like how winnable is that round 2 eco on defense. But like my initial assumption, just from watching, like looking at the map, like it's a big ass map. It's really hard to get any of these orbs, and it's really hard to win this round. It's hard on defense anyway, so
Yeah.
Screw it. Let's just try this. And like I was practicing in scrims, it was working out, and then yeah. I mean, honestly, looking back, I wish we didn't do it in the round 2 or second half.
It's because of the score, right? It's
score
too
was
big a
down.
lead, really.
Yeah, exactly. I actually wanted them to like take a risk and like, yo, let's just run at them or something. Let's see if we can make magic happen.
Yeah.
But it's again, that's like on me because I coached it that way, and so like they jumped off. It's like, all right, it is what it is. And at least that part is immortalized,
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah,
That's
So-
funny that you got it from him.
yeah.
It's like the
That's
old
actually
Brim
hilarious,
strategy. Or like, so back in the day on Haven, we used to just jump off. We used to just hurt
yeah,
ourselves
yeah.
and jump off. Or we used to use the Brim Molly. You remember when the Brim Molly used to kill your teammates?
Yeah.
Because it was just sometimes the smartest thing to do.
It's in CS too. I remember it used to be abused until they added a penalty to it. So like maybe add a penalty to it, right?
Right. Oh, and scrim sharing. Please don't forget that. That's first.
Yeah, get rid of that too. Yeah.
Yeah.
Or make it if you get caught by it, at least you
Oh,
get punished for it.
oh, trust.
That's what I was saying.
I mean, you can't prevent it, but like at least make it so that like if you
If,
get caught,
if
you're
there's
screwed.
hard evidence, they should get screwed. Something
Yeah.
should happen. It should be like a fine that like really goes overboard if the more you get caught. Like
Right.
it should be
And
it
the
should
tier
be a
2 teams
fine that's
also.
like, oh fuck, this hurts.
Yeah.
But then like the next time around is like, okay, like your fine is like this really hurts. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
That in my opinion.
Yeah, there has to be deterrence for this. But yeah.
if you're comfortable talking about this, Alex, because we've never talked about scrim sharing. I've never had the conversation with you, at least. This is like one of my first conversations with you ever. What do you think about that rule? Slash, did you experience some BS? And you don't have to call out any teams for it, but like, are you aware of like? The
Am I crazy or not?
Yes,
Alex,
No, honestly,
is this a
honestly,
thing that
I
you
think-
worry about with your team? Do you worry about what teams you scrim against when you go to events or even just at home?
No, I mean, I think it happens regardless. I think it will happen regardless, even when you go to an international event. You know, like for example, if G2 came to Korea, like every team is Asian, it's impossible for them to keep everything on the wrap. So I feel like I just nowadays my prevention. I believe it happens. So my prevention is if I'm playing a Korean team 2 weeks. In 2 weeks, I don't play any Koreans. If I'm playing a Japanese team in 2 weeks, I don't play any Japanese teams. You know, just to like minimize risk, because I don't think it's possible. It's possible to stop. I mean, I don't have this problem. I mean, I have the luxury of playing against teams from different regions. But if I was in America and every team is American, I don't see how you can avoid it. Same for like I mean, for EMEA, I guess you can. If you were Turkish, if you were playing against a Turkish team, I wouldn't play the Turkish for a while. You know, like just in case. You know, not saying that they do it. I do believe it happens regardless. So if I do play against a team that's like, you know, I just have to pay extra attention to it, which is, I feel like I shouldn't have to use this brain power.
I was about to say that. Like, doesn't it
it's
suck
so
that you
annoying.
have to
but
like
it's annoying. Yeah.
on top of like everything that you're doing, like it might not even matter at the end of the day because all that work that you put in could just get shit on by like one VOD being leaked.
Yeah.
Or like even like a fucking pistol round. Like I speak about how important pistol rounds are. Bro, your pistol gets leaked. Fuck,
Yeah, it's
man.
bad.
Yeah, we used to on old FaZe, we would run our pistols from 2 weeks prior. That's what we would do. We would be practicing the pistols like weeks ahead of time, and that way no team would ever know. Like, but it's sad that we had to do that. You know?
Yeah, exactly. It's just the extra effort that I feel like, like it's unnecessary. You know,
Adds up. It adds up to
Yeah.
the stress and everything. You know,
from January to October, it's just
yeah.
holy cow.
Hey, esports, baby. We live for this shit though. At the end of the day, bro, we love this. This is what we do for a living, bro.
This is why Alex was the man, bro. That was the most PC fucking answer possible.
Based.
Because
Frost, you gotta take
I don't
some
have
notes,
proof.
Frost. You gotta take some
I have
notes, Frost.
suspicions, but I don't have proof. So
Bro, Frost has proof.
listen.
He's got
listen.
actual proof.
It's all
but it
good,
doesn't-
Yeah,
bro.
but it apparently didn't matter.
Yeah, it didn't.
Yeah, bro.
Lucky.
Yeah.
Unlucky, bro. O2 barbecue, GG.
I got what I deserve, I guess.
All right, guys. Thank you for fucking showing up. I really appreciate the time. I know this is like coming out of your off season a bit, so thanks for taking the time to talk. I hope you guys enjoyed the show, and we're very happy with you guys coming on here. And yeah, I wish you all the best of luck. I can't wait to see all you motherfuckers. But you know I'm gonna see you guys for sure next year. So
We're gonna see Alex for sure.
And now, Alex, now we gotta hang out, bro, because now we're cool like that. You were on my show, bro.
Okay.
All right. Peace out, everybody. Don't forget to drop a like and sub. Blah blah blah. Bye. Thank you,
Bye,
Josh.
guys.
Thanks,
RT.
guys.
Excellent.